Come on in, sit right down. Keep your hands up, keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with Randy Harrison. Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockout Radio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC rain facility. Pouring.
Okay. Is it really?
Yeah, pouring. A lot of things to talk about. Last week went so well, and we're getting better, and we're doing all sorts of things behind the scenes and whatever. We're going to try it again this week, nonstop, 3 straight hours.
All right, let's get it. I just so you know, before we start the show, I abandoned my daughter to be here. Like, I literally dumped her off at a location, undisclosed.
Don't use that as an excuse. You do that every day.
she's not here. So I 3 hours uninterrupted, unless Child Protective Service comes looking for me, then I gotta go. But so far, so good.
A lot of things to talk about. I'm anticipating an awesome show.
All right.
I would say, have you seen the lineup? And I'm going to say no, because you typically don't. Stacked. We are absolutely stacked. Bottom of this hour, undefeated UFC fighter Ty Miller. Your boy from Joke World will be on.
Yeah, Jake.
Somebody could, to the best of my knowledge, do something on Knockout Radio that has never been done before.
Okay.
And we'll discuss it at the top of the next hour. Very excited, very nervous. I have a story. Shocking. As Lene used to always say, Randy, you're almost out of stories. You're out of stories. You're soon to be out of stories. I have a story that I'm going to tell our guest at the bottom of next hour, and that is Ralph Johnson. Do you know who Ralph Johnson is?
I do not know Ralph Johnson.
He is the drummer. How about that? Another drummer person from Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, nice.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Are you kidding me? So I got a great Earth, Wind, and Fire story that I don't think I've told it on the air. I might have, but I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell Ralph. I'll tell you. I'll tell the audience that's tuned in today. Then to close out hour number 3, Darren Elkins returns. Miles John's returns. Inside the Distance. And I don't know if I forwarded it to you, and it's something that Jared started last week, and he probably should have been doing this all along. You know, he gives his picks, he gives his ideas, he gives his thoughts, but to the best of my knowledge, he hasn't come the next week and said how he did the previous week. And it's not fair, and he said that it's not fair that I only come the weeks that I won, and he won big last week. And he showed me the ticket and whatever. But I think he did talk about last week, the week before, and how he struggled and he didn't, because they're not going to be 100%. Really, what do you want? 80%? 60%? 65%? What would you be happy with if you were a gambler?
I mean, anything in the positive.
I understand.
As long as you don't lose. I mean, anything in the gain is so a 10% profit is still positive. A 30%, 100%. So
let me ask it slower, since you're not paying attention. What would you want the ratio to be? You personally, Matt, I am a knucklehead McClellan. Oh. If you were to put whatever, it doesn't matter how much, $1, $10, $100, the money doesn't matter, the number that you're putting up. What matters is what percentage would you feel successful at? And like now, and we talk about it with Jared, and we'll do it again in hour number 3. Do you do it for fun? Are you doing it to make money? Are you doing it to just stay busy and have fun? All of those things play in. But what percentage would you want your gambling, the money that you're investing, what would you want it to be for it to be a success? And I think you just left the room.
I would want to double my stack. I want to double my investment. If I put in 100, I want to make 200. Right? Make $100 on my investment.
Why do you keep leaving? You're that scared about your statements?
It's not me. Like, you got a producer running the show from the behind the scenes.
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot that. All right, I put you back in. I forgot. Okay,
so he's zooming in on you.
Right. I got you. Well, to say that, so what would that be? It wouldn't be a 50% because 50% of the time you're going to lose. So for you to make that profit, that's 100% then, right?
Yeah, I want to be 100%.
Well, you can't.
I keep it 100. I keep it 100 in everything I do.
You can't be
everything I do is 100%.
Hold on a second. I do have to apologize. I totally forgot the producer behind the scene because you disappeared and I put you back in, and then you disappeared and you put you back in. No, it can't be 100%. So be realistic.
I'm 100%, baby.
You're not 100%. The only thing you're 100% in is stupidity. That's the only thing.
I can't be less than 100%. It's not authentic to me. Keep it 100.
All right, let me try it again for.
No, let's just keep moving. Like we'll talk to.
No, I'm curious. You know,
because I lost everything on D-Rod. I thought that training camp in jail in Mexico was like a good thing for him. I thought take away the distractions and 100% focus, and got out as a redemption fight. And he just got destroyed the first round knockout. And so there went all my money.
Well, first of all, that's really a stupid reason to put everything on somebody.
Look, if I go to jail, I know I'm coming out better than I went in. I'm coming out focused, like disciplined. Like I cut out all the extra food, like training, recovery, sleep. That's how bodybuilders are made.
I understand, but
bodybuilders.
But for you to make a statement that's impossible to make and prove, unless you're willing, and I will call a friend of mine who has connections at the Hillsborough County Jail.
All right.
He happens to be the sheriff.
Okay. All right.
I will call this. If you'll do this, I will call and we'll put you in jail for as long as D-Rod. I believe it was 8 months. And let's see how motivated you are to go get in a fist fight.
Bro, I'll become out a savage.
yeah. For your new boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out a savage, bro.
All right, a comment that you put out on the Book of Face. You kind of belittled me over the weekend. Yes, you did.
What did I
do? No, I'm gonna tell the whole story.
All right.
So, Knockout Entertainment, Knockout Apparel, sponsored the WCFL. They're very involved with them. I judged their fights on Saturday. Most of the fights were incredible. I did something that I've never done before. I got out of my judging chair and went and spoke to the trainer of a fighter that lost a fight. Unanimous decision. And I told that trainer, that's the closest fight I've ever judged in my life.
Okay.
The fights were incredible. Most of the fights were incredible. So, Knockout Entertainment, and I became friends with Lisa Marie. And about the belt. That belt was kick-ass.
Or Julie. I mean,
Julie.
Names are irrelevant.
No, Lisa Marie is Gilligan's Island. So whatever. So she's going to get involved in the show. Where a lot of things we're going to do with Julie. But you made a derogatory comment to me.
Ouch.
Regarding the belt.
Okay.
And I said that belt would look kick-ass in the studio.
It's true.
And what did you say?
You got to earn that belt. The belts aren't given. Like, it's a heavyweight championship strap. You got to earn that to put it in the studio. You got to step in there against a heavyweight and earn it.
Okay, let me I'm going to remove you from just so that we can center just on me for a second. So we're going to move there. You see what's right there? Can you see it?
Knockout. Shout out Nicholas Vick.
Yeah. The belt's here in the studio. That belt will stay in the studio. That's my belt now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's stolen valor. I mean, that's fine.
No, it's not. I earned it.
Sure it is. Whatever. I mean, that's stolen valor. I mean, but like on a positive note, like as if Julie couldn't be
Julie.
Sorry, she couldn't be any more pretty. I mean, standing next to you make her like even prettier. That's crazy. Like, I didn't think she could get any prettier, but now.
The one time I wear shorts. I'm always in long pants. The one time I wear shorts.
You do look like Gilligan.
No, but I got one of those sailor hats.
Again, stolen valor. Isn't that the hat you got on right now?
What are you talking about?
That's not your hat. That's your grandpa's hat, isn't it? No, I'm just saying, like, but the belt, you didn't earn the belt. Like, at least I have that belt. I earned that one from the Hulkster. But you got to earn.
How did you earn it from the Hulkster? He gave it to you for being a nobody. So that's earning it?
I was a somebody at one point, but now I'm
okay.
Nobody. I'm just.
Well, I was presented this belt in the cage from Ralph Garcia and Julie. And of all of my hard work, all of Knockout Radio's hard work, I think it was all videotaped. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. No, it looks good back there. I like it.
It does look good. And Nick, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Now I need one. I got a studio.
You got to earn it.
I'll go earn it. I'm heavyweight right now. I'm 209. I'm my iron weight class right now.
Well, you're iron weight. You're not. All right. So somebody gave me a little bit of crap about a legend word that I used.
Okay.
So we can discuss this for a second. Ty Miller coming up at the bottom of the hour. I called Lorenzo Hunt a bare knuckle and BKFC legend.
Okay.
And so said person kind of ripped me on the book of face and said, his MMA record, his combats. And I corrected this person and said, I never said he's an MMA legend because he's not. I never said he's a combat legend, even though he could be considered that because of the combat sport that I guess you got to call somebody that's won 3 different divisions a legend. In bare knuckle fighting, Lorenzo Hunt will be considered a legend, considered a legend.
And not only that, but like he went up to fight heavyweight, and the only reason he lost was because of an injury when he fell and dislocated his elbow. So, I mean, it's possible that Lorenzo could be a 4-division champion in BKFC. Which
woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. And let's be honest, he could go up and probably will, knowing him, and attempt it again. I do think it's unfair to say he fell and he got injured. That injury, we don't know if he would have won the fight. We don't know how it would have ended. But yes, I think somebody that's won belts in 3 different divisions, and he's beat some pretty good bare knuckle fighters.
Yeah.
I hate the word legend. I don't like to use the word legend. And just to agree with said person, he's not an MMA legend. And nobody would say that, including Lorenzo, I hope. But in the sport of bare knuckle and in the BKFC, yes, I don't know anybody else. And how badly do we want to see the next fight? Do you think it will happen? Do you think Mike Perry, Lorenzo Hunt?
Who knows? I have no idea. You would hope so. I mean, the fans want it. But Lorenzo, another guy who went to jail early in his career, right? Wrongfully accused, came out focused, came out like determined. That's why I kind of thought D-Rock, because I watched Lorenzo talk about, because he went to the old penitentiary and did a video last week, after he won the 3rd belt, and talked about his time there and how he's wrongfully accused, and he came out a better man. And so that's why I kind of had hope for D-Rod last week. And that's why if I do go to jail, I'm following the Lorenzo Hunt game plan. Whatever he did there to get conditioned to come out better, that's what I'm doing.
I will call Sheriff Chronister and I'll set it up. Do you want me to set up the fight first or the fight that you're going to have in jail?
Either way. Like I just need a training camp with Lorenzo. I'm good. Teach me some pointers, how to condition myself, like what kind of workouts you can do in jail. I mean, there's whole jailhouse workouts on the internet. I mean, Cali Muscle came out of the jail. I mean, that's what the jails used to do. They used to build these monsters. And so, yeah, bring it on, Randy. And you got to try to
talk a little bit louder. It's raining so hard here, I can hardly hear you.
Are you going to come visit me in jail, though? You're going to put some money on my commissary, put some money on my books? Because, commissary is like currency, man. Like, forget paper.
What do you mean? It's not like it. It is.
But it is currency. Yeah. So, like, that's how you survive in jail. You got to have people put money on your books. Got to, make sure you can spread it around, make sure everybody's on the take.
All right. Something else that I want to bring up. A couple people have mentioned this to me. With everything that's going ape crazy at the 4-letter network, and that would be it starts with an E and ends in an N. I don't know how I want to say this because I occasionally do watch WWE.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of SummerSlam. I love the Royal Rumble, yaddy, 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 yaddy. But have you seen what the Four Letter Network is doing with the WWE?
No.
Are you familiar with it at all? All right, so they're now partners, and they are treating the WWE like it's a legitimate sport. It's legitimate. It's a scripted legitimate. They're athletes. I'm not trying to be negative whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But they're treating it like it's a real fight on Saturday night and what the odds are. And I think that's taking this a little bit too far, almost where you lose credibility with it.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I think everything you said is spot on. These athletes are incredible. The damage they take is irreversible at times. I mean, it was just all shoulder injury this week. The female wrestler, I don't know her name, but Bella something.
It's not Lisa, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right. But I don't. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough sport. It takes a incredible athleticism. I saw Brock Lesnar rip the mats up and then like did some kind of power drive, head slam into the wooden boards underneath. So, and then people talking afterwards about how Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do and nobody stops him. So, I think there's a little bit of realness into it. I feel like Brock Lesnar in real life does what he wants to do. So I feel like it's genuine.
Okay. Well, whatever.
I mean, it feels authentic.
Well, because that is a Brock. That is kind of what Brock did in the UFC. But let's be honest, he's not going to do things that ownership, Triple H, what used to be Vince McMahon, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you, can I tell you a quick Lisa story before Ty Miller comes on?
I mean, Julie?
No, Lisa.
Okay. All right.
I want to tell you a quick Lisa story.
All right.
So I've played with my granddaughter in the pool for 3 years now. And I've always called her Lisa, just as a joke. There's a Don't Call Me Lisa song, I think. So I'll always make, hey, come here, Lisa. We clown around with Lisa. Everything is Lisa. How about this crap? I recently found out my daughter-in-law's mother, who she lost at a very, 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 very young age, her name was Lisa.
Oh, wow.
Is that not crazy?
That is wild. That's crazy.
Of all the names, you know how I always use different names when we go to eat, and I don't know why. It's just some of the stupid crap I do. But all right, Lisa, come here. All right, come here, Lisa. And then to find out that was her grandmother.
Wow.
And I never knew that.
That's a small
craziness.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Okay. Thanks for piping in.
No, I just got information, on the hotline. The mayor of Tampa is in my community right now. I mean, maybe they're coming to get me. I don't know. Did you call Chad already? Is the mayor involved? Is everyone?
Well, the mayor and the sheriff are two different people.
Right, but they work together, right? In unison, don't they have some sort of relationship?
Well, I don't know what kind of relationship they have.
You would think so, right? Like the sheriff, the county.
Yeah, they work. Of course they
the
work.
City
yeah.
of, but I guess the mayor is going to be knocking on my door soon. So maybe I'll bring her on the show.
Yeah.
Do you want to get?
Love to have Jane on.
Yeah.
Jane does the voice. When was the last time you were kicked out off an airplane or out of the airport?
I think it was on the way to Philly with you.
So you haven't been at the airport since?
Not really. I haven't really gone anywhere. I mean, I've taken some cruises down to the Bahamas, but no.
All right. Well, Jane now does the message. Ooh, how about this? Just got some updated news for myself.
Oh, yeah?
We have booth space for me. Do I have to say you?
Of course.
Do I have to say the word us?
We, yes. You're French now. We are together as one.
Oh, that's hurtful. We have booth space for you at the floor of the Tampa Bay Comic Convention. It's near Celebrity Row. Remind me what all you need at the booth: table, chairs, and power. Also, are you wanting to broadcast the entire time?
Awesome. Shout out Rip Santa. You and I, Randy, are featured in the new comic book series. So we'll have our own comics at this year's convention.
It's going to be cool.
Autograph and sign them. The Knockout Radio logos in there. I don't know if you have a character yet, though. We should give you a character. What kind of character would you like to be if you were animated?
Well, depending on what this character is going to look like, and I keep checking to make sure that our guest isn't here yet. If our producer can let me know, because I can't see that far down. In order for you to be at my booth, at my table at the 2026 comic convention, Matt, I need to have a good character. Rip Santa and I are pretty tight, but unless I got a cool character, I don't know. We may not see Rip Santa either.
Yeah. Well, we got the Santa. I mean, I'm the Ninja Turtle, so we got to get you a character. I think the fans should vote. I think we should come up with a talent search. Have everybody give their ideas, and we vote on which character Randy should be in the comic strip.
That'll be done by September?
I think so. I think it's pretty much done.
Well, it can't be pretty much done if you don't know my character yet.
He's doing the design. He's doing the barcodes and the QR codes so people can find the YouTube channel. So people can scan and then follow us and boost our viewership up.
No, very cool. I'm very excited about it. What are you thinking? What character? What type of character?
For you,
I mean, we can go the generic stuff, which. So give me your serious ideas. If I don't like the idea, I'm going to remove you from the room. How's that?
Well, I mean, everything you do is military based. So I think it's got to be something military, some kind of colonel or commander or somebody, an authoritarian, like a dictator kind of.
Dictator. Okay. Probably all of my co-hosts would like the dictator portion because it kind of fits in.
So I think, a dictator role for you would be cool, like different, weapons, like insults and just things you can do, to use against people at, TSA or.
I don't know if I like that because this is forever, we
shoe stores or, a bank tellers, people that have really felt the wrath of, Randy Harris.
No, nobody at a shoe store. I used to work at a shoe store.
No, the lady with the COVID mask when she wore it down below her lip.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then you called her, stupid and told her.
I didn't call her stupid. Wow. I believe all I said was a lot of good that mask does, not protecting your nose.
Speaking of mask, your boy Fauci pled the fifth 111 times on the stand. Thoughts since yours truly. We missed meals because of me. We couldn't go in places because of me when we were traveling to New Orleans, traveling with bare knuckle because I didn't have the vaccine. And so, how do you feel now that Fauci is under investigation and COVID looks to be a hoax?
I don't know.
I mean, can I get a hey, attaboy?
No.
Well, come on, man. Us purebloods, there's only 20% of the population that didn't get the jab. Now, question is, who had the most dangerous jab in history? Was it Tyson, Ali, Fauci?
Now, see, you just blew it. You just blew it.
Why?
You have to think before you talk. You just blew it. Well, this is why. Because Sean has wanted us to start, and we kind of did start it not too long ago, about a Mount Rushmore. Okay. And he's been giving us the ideas. You dummy, you could have used that and you would have looked like a genius. You would have said this, how about today, instead of we're going to do either the Mount Rushmore of breakfast foods or transportation, you could have said, hey, let's make it sports related. Let's do the Mount Rushmore of jabs. And I would have never thought that. And that would have been an absolute victory for you.
All right, well.
I'm just saying.
I think the cereal one's kind of cool. Mount Rushmore of cereals, that's cool. I'm down with a little Mount Rushmore of cereal. What was the other option? Mount Rushmore.
I don't know. Somebody's changing. I don't know what this is. Howdy.
Yeah. We got some some interaction.
Very cool.
That. We're growing, Randy. This YouTube thing is
Mosey. How do you pronounce that? M-O-I-Z audio?
Moise audio.
Yeah, we could use some audio equipment.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Ty Miller coming up here momentarily. We'll bring it back, but I don't know what kind of character I want. Definitely I don't want to be. I mean, military would be cool because I am a veteran, a very proud veteran. Means a lot to me. But you're talking about stolen valor. Wouldn't that maybe if I'm in there as like a captain or a colonel,
Yeah, that's true.
Now I'll do the flip side. See, because you're so awful at disagreeing and having a sensible conversation, I will argue with myself. How many people, that in all of these, movies, TV shows, the SEAL TV shows, this TV shows, they wear a SEAL uniform, they wear bars, they wear ribbons. Is that stolen valor?
That's a character. You're playing a role, like,
right? So
if they wore it out to like Starbucks in the middle of, after on the weekend
and ask for the military discount.
Right. Yeah, if you're receiving gifts, you're parking in the front row of the mall in the Purple Heart section. I think there's levels to the thing, but maybe you could be like kind of tied in with like the rock and roll thing, since we do such a lot with all the musicians on this platform. You could do like a Yellow Submarine kind of character. Like you could be like the Navy guy on the Yellow Submarine, tied in with like isn't that the Beatles that had that song?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. See, so now you have like this, that we could bring it all together. So it could be
like, how about we could do something like, well, let me see how I can move this down. I can't move this down. There we go.
If you would let me train you, you could become Aquaman. I mean, you could be like a real life Aquaman, like, but
all right, more importantly, enough about you. Let's move our attention to this weekend. Back out in Vegas. 2 weeks the UFC has been out of the country, now back at the Apex. Let's welcome to the program undefeated MMA fighter, UFC fighter Ty Miller. Ty, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Not too bad. We appreciate your time. What's this week like? I know it just started, fight week for you, and obviously it's too early to compare to your very first UFC fight week, but what was that like back in January, and how will it or could it be different this week?
It hasn't been too different so far. The only real difference is just changing hotels, I guess. This hotel that you got to stay in at is really nice. But yeah, so far we've just been signing posters, getting our equipment, getting our meals, and they've just been planning our schedule for us. So yeah, not too different so far. Yeah, and just went to the PI, got some training in, and cut a little bit of weight.
What's the food like there?
It's not bad. All it is really is just proteins and fats. So all I've had is just like salmon, chicken, and eggs.
When you fought at the Paramount card, I believe it was in January, is it like, and I ask the fighters, I've covered the UFC since before you were born, just so you know, so I've been around a long time. Is it like changing schools? Is it like you're, the new kid on the block, and, people are looking at you and you're looking at them, out of the side of your eye?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of nerves because you're like, man, you're with the big dogs now, So, when I fought for UFC 324, I got to see guys like Sean O'Malley, John Silva, Justin Gaethje, Patty Pimlet. So it was, I was like, dang, we really made it. So yeah, it's kind of like from graduating middle school to going to high school.
Before I throw it to you, Matt, again, this shows you how young Ty is and how old I am. He's saying, somebody like Sean O'Malley, I'm thinking Hoist Gracie, I'm thinking Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
Got that.
What's up, Ty? How you doing, man? So here's how old Randy is. So Randy was old enough to remember this was his home phone. Right? so he would call in. This is how he called people. But so on this flight of Spirit of St. Louis, the first solo flight across the Atlantic, there's a map inside. So if you had one place to fight, one arena, one country, where's your dream location? Where would be like a dream fight for you?
Oh man. Honestly, I think Korea would be cool, man. A lot of my family members are half Korean, and my grandmother was born and raised in Busan, Korea. So I've always wanted to go there and just see their culture. And I love all the movies and TV shows, and watching that stuff. I see the city, and I was like, man, that'd be awesome to go check out, man. So I think it'd be cool.
Heck yeah. That'd be cool.
Do you collect anything, Ty?
No, I'm not a collector at all. Honestly, I'm a minimalist. I don't really want too much stuff.
All right, well, I had something. I still may give it to you. We'll see how the next 3, 4, 5 minutes goes. But I got something I think you may like.
Okay.
Good God, Matt.
Yeah, Randy's a minimalist too. He, as long as there's a lot of it, right? So No, but so let's go back to the phone thing. So, you get to call out one person, alive or dead, real or fictitious, to step inside the octagon against you. Who's getting that call out from Ty Miller, the undefeated UFC fighter?
Oh man, at some point I would love to fight Carlos Prates. I know I'm just barely starting out, but I always look at the top 15 and the champ, and that's a fight that I would really like to have someday. And yeah, striker versus striker, boxer versus Muay Thai. So I think it'd be awesome.
What's the craziest, strangest, funniest, whatever that's ever happened to you involving you in a fight, in a fist fight?
And this one's definitely weird. I had a fight in CFFC, and it was a tough one. It was against Eric Nolan, who's also in the UFC now. And I don't know why, but towards the end of the third round, I was on top, and I just wanted to bite him. I don't know why. It was just a weird thing, and I've never had that urge since. But I was just like, I wanted to hold him down so bad. I wanted to win. I just wanted to bite him. It was so weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never had that urge since, but I was just like, oh, just bite him. I was like, no, wait, no, we're going to get disqualified.
But have you ever had urges like that? And the reason I'm asking is, like, I don't like to stand at the end of a balcony because in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to jump. Let me just tell you that. There's no way that I would ever jump or whatever. But I kind of like, what would happen if I jumped? What would my thoughts be if I jumped? So have you thought something like that, again, knowing that you would never do it?
Yeah, that's pretty much the same exact feeling I had. I was like, what if I bit him? But no, don't, because you'll get disqualified. But yeah, it was the same thing. But I don't think I really had anything like that. As far as what you're talking
that is
about.
A crazy one. We've heard some crazy stuff. I've never heard that one though.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I just watched a podcast with Jordan Peterson and Andrew Huberman, and they're talking about kids that are biters and age 1 or 2, and then by certain developmental stages. But it goes back to just instinctive, right? Like, being born, it's in our DNA, and society kind of reprograms that, obviously. But yeah, you probably in the middle of that fight tapped into your natural, your natural instinct of survival, right? Of survival. Maybe that's what Holyfield did when he bought Tyson's ear. Maybe it was just an instinctive, primal instinct of just of the nervous system. Yeah, but that's interesting, man. That's a great concept.
Yeah, it was a weird feeling. I was like, God, I better not ever fucking do that in my life.
All right, so in January, you fought at T-Mobile. This weekend, obviously, at the Apex. Have you been told to do things differently? Do you have to adjust to things differently, or a fist fight's a fist fight?
For the most part, it's a fist fight, but there are just a little adjustments. One, he's not a long, lanky southpaw. He's shorter, 5'10", orthodox boxer. So a little bit different adjustments. He's real pressure heavy. Likes to fight on the inside. Durable, hard to put away. So I just need to fight behind my jab. Go to the body, slow him down. Don't stand right in front of him. And I expect he's going to shoot, so I need to be ready for the takedown, keep my back away from the fence, and just use more of my tools too, as far as kicks, knees, and elbows. A lot of people consider me mostly a boxer, but I feel like I have all the tools to put this guy away.
Interesting.
All right, so who has a better jab, you or Dr. Fauci? No, I'm kidding. Don't answer. I'm just kidding. So no, it's good, man.
What goes through your mind, if anything, while you're fighting? And I don't think I've said this on the air, but the only fight I was ever in, nothing went through my mind. I got knocked out at the very first punch that got thrown, so I didn't think about much. What's going through your mind?
Honestly, I feel like in my mind, I throw something, and then I'm like, oh, that's open. I need to follow up with that, or oh, he keeps doing this, But I'm really not trying to think too much in there, especially like when you both trade at the same time, you really can't think. It's just all instinct and reaction. But yeah, I don't really think too much in there, man. I'm not gonna lie. Not in like a stupid way, just like just like I guess in an instinctual way, you know. I just let my I believe in my training, so you know, my body just responds how it's gonna respond.
Good
So
stuff.
speaking of how your body responds, do you follow like a Korean style diet at all? Like, I mean, I know for when I was in LA, the black rice and eggs and like the meat that came with the bowls, the Korean
Mhm.
restaurants were incredible. So do you follow more of a traditional Korean style diet or are you more Americanized?
You know, it's kind of mixed, you know. I will say for like this fight, I've been a lot more conscious of like keeping track of my macros, like the amount of protein, carbs, and fats I intake every day, and the amount of calories I intake. And my girlfriend Jessie has been helping me with that a lot, and so she'll just look up recipes online, or she'll cook what she already knows and be like, "Hey, is this okay? Is that okay?" And we'll measure everything out. But I always have a full tub of kimchi in my fridge for sure,
That's great.
and white
Oh,
rice.
yeah.
So there's that.
Could
But
you
you know,
translate
when it
that?
was
Could you translate that to Randy? He doesn't speak Korean. Can you tell him what kimchi is and why it's beneficial to the gut health?
kimchi is just like a fermented fruit or vegetable. So kimchi is like it can be cabbage, like apple, pears, like all kinds of fruits and vegetables. But it's I don't think it's for everyone, honestly. Like it's an acquired taste. But I didn't like it when I was younger, and then my family gave it to me again as I got older, like in high school, and I was like, "No, this is actually pretty good." Felt like my taste buds finally developed. You've never had kimchi, Randy?
No, I've never had fruits. I don't eat fruits.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's good, man. No, I like it. It's like sour and salty, but
The only
I
fruit
like it.
Randy has is the Adam's apple in his throat. That's as close to a fruit as he's gonna. That's it.
All right,
No,
so I think Ty's slowly going to your side of this conversation, so I'm going to bring it back to my side.
There you
I've
go.
got something that I want to send you if you want it. All right, you said
Okay.
that you're not a collector, but before the Paramount card, there was a media event. All the media went to, and they had these really cool Paramount UFC pillows, and every media person tried to get one. You know, they would just so they stopped them. They wouldn't let any of those out. I gave my card to one of the people and said, "Hey, I'd really like these for my studio. Would you?" And they mailed me 2 of them. So I have 2 of those that nobody else got. I want to send you one. If you want it, you can put it in your office or your room or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, man. Yeah, I'll. Can you sleep on it?
Since you and the Paramount card kind of are going to go hand in hand and all that kind of stuff, so
Yeah.
I'll get your address either from Nobby or Chris, or I'll reach out to you and get it. But I want to send that to you, and that
Thank
way
you
you're
so much,
more
man. I appreciate
Team Randy than Team Matt.
Listen, look, Randy, he told you up front he's a minimalist. He doesn't even have decorations behind him. There's not even a hanging picture. There's no artwork. There's no guns like Thug Nasty.
He's in a hotel room. He's not in his house.
He just like you're gonna send him more stuff he doesn't want. That's good.
No, I'll take it, man, for sure. That's awesome. Thank you, man.
How are you going to get through? Final question. How are you going to get through the next couple days? The excitement, the anticipation for Saturday.
I mean, I guess like how I normally do, just go cut the weight, go train, relax, eat a little bit of food I can, and just get ready for this weekend, man.
Awesome. Ty, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the process. I know this is early in your career. I was there at UFC 1, and I'll be there, God willing, at your last fight in 15 years as well. Enjoy the week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Alrighty, have a good one, man. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you guys.
Ty Miller. In action. Let me do this.
That should be your superhero name, Randy. Kimchi. Kimchi is your action hero superhero name from now on.
Well, we could do that.
So that's your character in the comic strip.
So does that mean that I got to be a fruit?
No, it's anything fermented. So it could be like sauerkraut's fermented, like kimchi, like vegetables, fruits, so but it's good for gut health. So it would be a great superhero name because, subliminally, it's a healthy process for the gut microbiome.
the reason that I was sending that pillow is, I believe, and I hope I'm right, I think I am, he was the first fight of the night of the Paramount era.
Oh, nice.
So you're shaking your head like you're confused.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. I bet he's like a minimalist. He doesn't want stuff. Like we're hoarders, Randy. We have just way too much stuff in our possession. And then, he's like a minimalist. He's got like no decorations behind him, just a plain white wall.
Again, he doesn't have decorations. He's in his hotel room. Do you think his house is going to be just like that?
I don't know. I mean, could be. You never know. A minimalist, I expect a minimalist to have nothing. I mean, like literally. All right, describe a minimalist house. Somebody invite you over for kimchi, and you're going to go sit down and have kimchi at someone's house. And what do you expect to see if they tell you up front that they're a minimalist and they're from Korea?
If they tell me that they have, what is it? Kung Chi?
Kimchi. And he didn't
I ain't going. I ain't going.
He didn't say North or South Korea. He didn't specify which Korea. I'm just saying. But yeah, so what do you expect to see when you go into a minimalist house, Randy?
It'll
probably look like a jail cell.
A Paramount pillow.
This is made in Korea. That would be fitting.
I thought it was a nice gift.
It is a nice gift. I wish I had it. I'll take the other one if it hasn't been spoken for. I've got more stuff in my office than I need, but I'll use it. I'll put it right there.
Let me talk slower for you. I got two, and I just gave one away.
I'll take the other one. So this is math is easy. Look at this. I got this Red Skelton DVD collection, like the clown edition. So I got to study from the greats, Randy. I got to learn how to like really take this.
Well, that is perfect that you have clowns in your office there, being a clown.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got to master the past. Do you ever go back and look at old comics or old broadcasters or old footage?
I watch Johnny Carson as much as I can.
Yeah, he was one of the best of all time.
I think he was the best.
He might have been. He was so witty, and he was so funny. Like, his timing was impeccable.
I've watched some of the things that, like the celebrities that pissed him off and he never invited back.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one just recently that I saw that they called him, this actor. I think I know who it was, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say his name. And they asked for a favor. Hey, can you come in and fill in, and Johnny this and Johnny that? And then Johnny never had him back on again. So, he was like, promised them, hey, help me out of this jam. But there was watch some with like Dean Martin, with Frank Sinatra. Some of that stuff is just, I do think he was the best of all time.
Yeah, like the art form is definitely, it's different now. Like the talent back then, you actually had to have it, right? Like it was earned. You had to maybe migrate and relocate to a different part of the country to be discovered, or to have opportunities like LA or New York or Miami. So it's a different world now, but some of the art, the timing, the jokes, the setups, some of it's recycled, right? Over time, people find old stuff and then repurpose it. But I'll tell you what, since I found out that Earth, Wind, and Fire was coming on today's show, I went and got a record.
Well, Earth, Wind, and Fire's not coming on.
Well, the drummer is. But I went and got a record player, and I've been on the hunt for like vinyl. And I'll tell you what, man, the anticipation of like looking for vinyl and like going through crates of it at like thrift stores and Goodwill, it feels cool. And then like when you find it, there's a different connection to the song when you play the vinyl and you have a physical, record in your hand versus just playing it on YouTube or off of the app.
You're always a day late and a dollar short.
Why?
I threw away.
Oh no!
Probably 1,000 LPs.
Did you really?
Yep. About 2 months ago.
I got a tape player here. This thing I got a Bluetooth. It's tape player,
8-track?
radio.
8-track?
No 8-track, but it does have cassette. So I'm gonna be on the hunt. I'm put together a collection, maybe some Rat Pack. Right? You talk about like Sammy Davis Jr. and like some of the old legendary. Oh no! Yeah.
I went to Frank Sinatra's house or area, and I was really disappointed. All it was like a little plaque on the sidewalk.
Really?
Some of these, monuments, right? It has stuff. It'll say like a little plaque that says this house was used or whatever. I was disappointed.
Really? Where is it at? Where is it? New York?
In New Jersey. So I was up there for a UFC, so I took a train somewhere and just to see a plaque. It was a long way to just go see a plaque, but yeah, sure. not to change subjects, but I had all those albums, Elvis Presley, a couple Beatles, stuff that I thought was really cool, but I didn't have. I got rid of my record player, which I wish I didn't. I even gave some away when Audio Technica was a sponsor. I never kept one, but it unbelievable back in the day. Took up your whole wall. Now that little thing that you had there, it was the TV system. It was this, it was that.
Check it out. It's got CD. So it's got CD, tape, record, Bluetooth, and stereo. So you can listen to us live on 106.1 FM, Tan Talk Radio Network. You can still listen to it the old-fashioned way, or you
can still listen to it the old-fashioned way through knockoutradio.com as well.
Of course.
The TuneIn radio app. So you can also listen to us live on the YouTube channel. But yes, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, you don't have to be in the Tampa Bay area either to listen to the Tan Talk Radio Network as well.
So remember the Columbia House records were like your first attempt at stealing something like
first?
Well, I mean, you get like 10 CDs for a penny, and then you had to buy a subscription, but no one ever paid for the subscription or bought the full price CD. You just got the 10 free ones, and then just
which would make you feel worse? Now, one you've already done, subscribed and didn't pay for it. I get that.
Maybe that's what puts me in jail with Chronister. I'll go to jail on.
Which would make you feel worse today? The fact that you got your 13 cassettes and never fulfilled it, or the fact if you would have fulfilled it and paid $295 for 6 albums and nobody else in the entire continent ever did?
Well, I mean, I like to be on the minority side of things, like the COVID vaccine. So I wouldn't mind being the lone wolf over there that actually fulfilled the contract and paid out of the goodness of their heart. But like, if I could go back in time, if you could put together, that would be a Mount Rushmore. You get 4 albums to pick all time. Which albums would you pick of the catalog of every genre? The 4 albums could be a Mount Rushmore.
That's a good one.
Question.
That's a good one. Do you need to know the name of the album or just, the band or the group? Like I wouldn't know the names of certain ones, but I remember ones that I'd listened to. I only remember the name of one album because the name was so awesome.
And what
you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
It's true.
That's great. Come on.
That's the name of the band?
No, the name of the band is REO Speedwagon.
All right.
If you could only listen to 4 albums for the rest of your life, if you could only listen to, that's a way to change it. And then if that's the case, my question to you would be this. Do you pick somebody that you really, really like, or do you pick somebody like Michael Jackson's greatest hits that you're not overly fond of, stories and this, that, the other, but something that you could listen to for the rest of your life?
No greatest hits. It's got to be just straight up albums. Like, so I would go with the Royal Court. Like I would go with Michael, King of Pop, Madonna, Queen of Pop, Prince of Pop. And then, of course, the Joker would be Weird Al Yankovic because I need the jokes and I need the laughter. I need the satire. So I will be my Royal Court of albums for my Mount Rushmore. King.
Right. So first and foremost, you didn't say albums. You just said artists. No, so now you're changing.
Michael Jackson, Thriller, Madonna, whatever.
Yeah. See, you don't even know the name of the album for Madonna.
I don't remember that era. I mean, I just was coming out of vinyl into CDs when I was in the 80s. So by the time I stole my first 10 CDs from Columbia House, I think my first album I got was Michael Jackson, and then I had Tina Turner. That was my first 2 albums. And Lionel Richie. I had a Lionel Richie vinyl. And then I started transitioning to
I'm sure you did.
and then CDs.
I'm sure you did start your transition back then.
Yeah, a transition. Like Boy George, didn't he just do something? He's a pro-Israeli guy.
He just came out with the song. Yeah.
Apparently your dad was a huge Boy George fan. Surprising that he was such a huge fan of Boy George.
Something I didn't know.
Really? You just found that out now?
I just found that out.
Wow. But your dad was a military guy, right? Was he like,
Yes.
So he ran a very disciplined, conservative lifestyle, you know. But Boy George was way out there back then, wasn't he? I mean, wasn't he one of those like
Probably still is.
Yeah.
You picked Madonna as one of your 4. Does she still owe you something by any chance? Or did she fulfill her promise?
What did Madonna promise me again?
Well, Madonna promised, I believe, the world, allegedly, I heard this through a grapevine, some kind of sexual favor if you voted for a particular person.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, I'll go to the clubhouse and vote now with the mayor here. If it gives me Madonna's still hot. Like, she's still killing it.
Which accent do you want her in? The fake one that she's developed living, overseas, or her American accent?
I would go. It doesn't matter. It's just Madonna, bro. Still, accents are irrelevant.
Not true.
They don't even have to speak. When it comes to
how are they going to sing if they're not going to speak?
I remember one time I hooked up with this deaf, blind, and mute chick.
Shut up!
I broke her finger so she couldn't tell nobody. But it's irrelevant. Communication doesn't matter. It's all sexual energy. It's like.
Let's get back to the albums. Let's get back to the albums, because I don't know what 4 I would pick. There's 5, 6, 8 that come to mind. A, I like them. B, if it's the only music I could listen to for the rest of my life. People already think I'm whatever, but one I think would have to be ABBA.
A dictator? That's what they think you are. Go ahead. Well, Alba? Did you say Alba?
ABBA.
All right. What about this one? Can we put this in the contender list? Would this be one of your contenders?
All right. For people that are listening on the radio and not just watching us on YouTube, the autographed album cover that I got for Matt. See, I get stuff for Matt. I can't tell you the last thing Matt's ever gotten from me, but I did get that album cover signed by Lisa Jones.
Lisa Jones, nice.
Or everything's Lisa.
Or Randy Jones.
Randy Jones, but everything's Lisa.
And for those of you listening at home, it's the Village People vinyl that Randy got from. That's cool. I'm gonna play it right now.
All right, somebody's saying Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers.
Okay, Rolling Stones.
I'm not gonna say I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the Rolling Stones. I couldn't tell you names to many, but ABBA would definitely have to be one. Probably REO would have to be number 2. There's so many groups. You know what? I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it loud, and I'm going to say it proud, because he's coming up at the bottom of the next hour. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, that's a great choice.
Honestly, it is. I was listening to some Earth, Wind, and Fire this morning, prepping for the show. So many hits, so many songs. Earth, Wind, and Fire would be one of my 4. Right. Can I think about the 4th?
Of course. But you got different genres too. You could go with a Metallica, like Master of Puppets, or AC/DC, or
Hold on a second. Hold on. You're saying I could do that, or you could?
I'm just saying there's so many different genres of music. So
but every person is going to pick the 4 albums that's going to make them be able to survive. If I had to listen to Metallica, I think for an hour, I would probably consider killing you. I couldn't tell you anything. I don't listen to that stuff. I listen to the same things over and over and over again. I don't broaden, and that's just the way it is. I'm really leaning towards the Bee Gees as my fourth, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Bee Gees, okay.
That's not bad. Earth, Wind, and Fire, ABBA, the Bee Gees, and REO Speedwagon.
What about like Kool and the Gang? I mean, Robert Kool Bell came on.
I love Kool and the Gang. I love, but again, we can only do 4. You want to expand it and not make it Rushmore anymore? And Matt McClellan that now lets us get 50.
Hey, did you forget to send the invite to Jake at Joke
Nope,
World?
I sent it.
Oh, he just sent me an invite.
I sent it. Send it to the email you gave me. I don't know what to tell you. We are in a break right now on the Tan Talk Radio Network. We are going to continue just running through, which I kind of like. You know, you hit a commercial break. Well, there's a Van Halen being mentioned. Definitely Kool in the Gang. But again, if you only got 4, ABBA's a definite. ABBA is a 100% definite. Earth, Wind, and Fire, absolutely definite. REO Speedwagon has to be a definite for me. And there's so many for the 4th. I don't know. Bob Seger, the Bee Gees, that whole Saturday Night Live. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you.
I'm talking to Jake right now from Joke World, trying to get him on here. Let's see.
Well, we could try again if you want to tell him to try again at 1:15.
Okay. Let's do.
We're going to have a very unique top of the hour, though. And this person might be able to set a knockout radio record. I mean, we can definitely make sure he does.
What's that? All right, so we resend that email when you get at the top of the hour for the whatever. But make sure you spelled it right, because the email world.
All right, so I did spell it right. Let's welcome back to the program. It's been 7 days since we last spoke. What up, dude?
What's going on, my friends? How y'all doing today?
All right, I said this to Matt. I said, you watch. Now, I purposely picked, last week because the UFC was over in Europe and we didn't have access to the media list. I'm like, let me reach out to my friends because I knew you were fighting this week. And then I said to Matt, watch, we're going to get, which we didn't. We didn't get Billy Q, but we got you. So I'm going to add, not that you need any pressure. And like we talked about last week, life is pressure. What you do, what we do, it's just our job. To the best of my knowledge, we have never had an athlete on in 3 consecutive weeks. Now, like we've had when we did the football or whatever, but, when we would do these interviews. So you were on last week. You're now on this week. And every Wednesday we do a Victory Wednesday. You could make history and be on the show 3 consecutive weeks. We are talking to Steven Asplund, by the way.
How you guys doing, man?
What went through your mind when you got your media list that you're back on the show today?
I'm not gonna lie, I got so excited when I saw that you guys were on the list. I was like, oh my god, like I actually get to talk to people that I genuinely enjoy today. And like I love the UFC commentator. I love all the guys at the UFC, but like I feel like we have a genuine rapport, and I appreciate you guys. So it's always a pleasantry being able to talk to you guys.
No, I thought it was awesome. So last week, and typically we talk to you guys, the athletes, the week of. I mean, we do it all the time, but it tends to a lot be week of. How different is the feeling? How different is your, where you are mentally?
Oh man, I'm fucking on top of the world now.
He said trucking. He said trucking, by the way.
Oh goodness gracious! I keep saying trucking. I'll get away from that word today. No, I feel great. When we spoke, I was going through peaks and valleys last week, as every fighter does, and I feel like a lot of people don't touch on it, enough. I'm very candid about how I feel about coming into these fights and the nerves and everything. I've put an immense amount of pressure on myself, and all of last week was kind of spent being nervous. Worst case scenario. I spent my time doing that nervous energy BS, and when Sunday came and went, I was just like, I'm not gonna sit here and do this anymore. Like this week, straight positive energy. I'm visualizing every way I can win, thinking about all the hard work I put in, all the time I've sacrificed, and everything that I've done in this camp that has been different than the last couple. I'm on top of the world right now. I'm buzzing, man. I got to put eyes on him yesterday. I mean, we didn't come face to face or nothing, but I saw him, and guys, I didn't have to cut 24 pounds this time. So I've been in high spirits all week, and I got to go work out yesterday, just get my heart rate up, get out of my head. And like, that was a huge benefit. I got to run into a couple of guys I really look up to and that I care about. Pona, I forget his last name, Sulaway. I know I'm going to butcher that. He's a lightweight for the UFC. And then I got to run into Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and just being able to talk to those guys and remember who the hell I am. This is the eye opener that I needed, watching my fights and remembering who I am, because I always forget. I don't know why, but I always forget before these fights. And now I feel good. I feel really good.
Can you take this too far though? Can you get so feeling good, so where you forget other things? How do you keep that even keel?
I'm not looking past him. And that's the biggest thing. I know Guilherme is dangerous. He's not a punk. He's not going to be a pushover. The guy doesn't throw as much as me. And I just looked at the betting odds today, and I'm truthfully flabbergasted that I'm a 3-1 favorite dang near. I don't understand how that happened. I'm 1-1 in the UFC, man, just like this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how people are saying I'm a freaking lock. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. But we got to remember, man, this is heavyweight. Anything can happen, and I respect Guilherme immensely. I got love for the guy. He fought one of my teammates. And, there's some rapport there. He was supposed to fight the guy that I fought for the Contender Series to get in. And, I just dangerous. And I'm treating him as my most, I'm treating him as my most dangerous opponent up until this point.
So it's just even keel. No, it's all good. I mean, we can still hear you, so it's all awesome. Sorry. How are you spending the week? What will you be doing? I know today's the media, the posters was yesterday, all that kind of stuff. When are you going to call John XD so he can hook you up with that biohacking?
Oh my goodness. I was actually going to see if I could get a hold of him today, just because when you said what you said about it, you said it's red blood cell count that like gets all tuned up and stuff. I was like, man, yeah, we might as well take advantage of that. So I've been trying to find the time. I'm done with all the PI stuff today at 12, it looks like. So I will absolutely be getting a hold of him.
Yeah, definitely give him a call if he needs to come to you. I mean, he will definitely do it. He's like, whoever is in with us, he wants to be in with. He wants to help. He wants you to be able to benefit by what he knows and the very little bit that Matt knows.
I'm so grateful for you guys.
Well, I just know John XD, and that's all I need to know. and now you know him too because of the partnership.
Yes, I appreciate you guys, man.
All right, so look, Steven. So I've got this phone. This is Randy's actual first phone from his first commercial flight. He, the Spirit of St. Louis. He was a bat boy for the Cardinals. He'll tell you all about it.
I was a bat boy for the Cardinals.
But that's such a cool thing.
So I got this phone. All right. So look, so you could fight anywhere in the world, any arena, any place. Where's your dream location? Where would a dream fight be for Steven Asplund?
I'm going to give you two answers because one is obviously a cop-out. I got to go home. I miss home, man. UFC ain't been in Minnesota in years and years, since Ngannou and I believe JDS. And, man, them fight fans are hungry. We got a couple guys in the UFC. I think it'd be fun to get back there. If I was able to headline a hometown show, that'd be amazing. But if not, man, I want to fight at the O2 Arena. I think that would be insane. I love the look of London. I love the layout of Europe. I want to go out there and try their nasty looking food. I just think it would be such a surreal dream to be able to go into that arena. It's such a beautiful space, and yeah, that's probably the dream.
So everybody always gives me a hard time that I'm all stories. I have so many stories, which I do. I've lived an awesome life. I've been very fortunate. One of the most nervous things I've ever done, one is coming up at the bottom of the hour when I interviewed Earth, Wind, and Fire. And at the bottom of the hour, we have the drummer on, Ralph Johnson, and I'm looking forward to that. But one of the most nervous things I've ever done in the O2 Arena in London, England, I walked down the old UFC ramp back when it was the ramp, or the real, carrying Matt Hughes's belt. And I walked like I was crippled because I was so scared I was going to slip and fall in front of the whole UFC and carrying the belt. And the O2 Arena was awesome. It was definitely a thing. Is that something that, you, the management, that represents you, hey, if you're ever in London, give us a call? Or is it whenever you need us, call us?
Right now, it's whoever you guys want. I'm saying yes. I straight up told Hunter Campbell that I don't care who you guys want me to fight. It's a yes always. Just send me the contract and I'll be there. In regards to traveling around, I got to get my passport. So once we get a couple of things aligned, I'll be able to get my passport. Got to take care of some stuff. But yeah, it's coming this year. I will be fighting overseas at the end of this year, by the end of next year.
People don't realize, and I always talk to all the fighters about this, it's a work trip, and let's keep that all in mind, whether you're in Vegas or you're in London or whatever, and it's tough. But as you continue your career, will you stay 2 days, a day, 3 days to kind of soak up that you got a free trip? The airfare's free, the hotel up until your fight's free, and it'll cut down on the expense of maybe going to some of these cool places?
For sure. I mean, the first 3 times we've been to Vegas, we stayed a day or 2 later, and it was just like, the Contender Series, I think we stayed an extra 3 days, and that was just, we won the Contender Series, got the record, and now we're in the UFC, and I did.
I thought you just rubbed that off. I got the record.
Well, no, I don't. It doesn't count in the UFC, right? It's the application, so it doesn't stand in the UFC, but I will take it. I'm grateful. But no, and then like the last time, we had the trip planned to stay out 2 extra days, and it was supposed to go a different way, and also be up the next day. We rode around in a scooter, and I took my little Percocets that they gave me for the pain, and I drank a little bit running around Fremont Street, but I couldn't do it for long. So yeah, this time we're getting the heck out of here pretty quick. I want to go home. I want to see my dog. I want to see my baby. I want to go back home.
All right. So speaking, go ahead. Randy.
No, I was just going to ask, when's the other baby due?
September 30th, man. She's coming quick. She's growing quick. She's the size of a box of cereal right now, the app says. So.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so Steve, when you're ready to go home, we'll meet you in Minnesota, because last week the Rip Santha, who's part of our network, he went and did some reconnaissance for me, and there's the soundproof room in Minnesota. It's in Minneapolis, and it's like minus decibels, or you can hear your heartbeat and your tendons. The world record is 22 minutes. They turn the lights off, and you're in the soundproof booth. The world record is 22 minutes of solitude before people freak out and like leave the booth. So when you're ready for it, we'll go back home. We'll eat some Carboni's pizza. We'll hang out. We'll bring Randy, myself, and we'll do that Minnesota thing right. We'll go to Stillwell. Don't tell my wife, but the prettiest girl I ever dated is from Stillwell. That girl, I don't know what they feed them up there, bro.
Would you do that room? Steve, would you go in that room?
With you guys, truck you. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Oh, yeah. It's going to be a tough time trying to get me to stay quiet, but yeah, I'd do it.
All right, so Matt, let me ask you this, because you've been bringing it up to me, and I said that I would do it. Now, can we talk, or do we have to stay quiet?
I don't know. I don't know the rules. I
would imagine you can't go in with a group of people and talk, because I could stay in there for 3 days. What, are you kidding me?
But if you think about it, like earlier we talked to Ty Miller, and his instinct was to bite in the middle of a fight. Like the hardened things you can do to a criminal, the only thing you can do to a hardened criminal is isolate them and solitude. And so this is the same scenario as that, except that you can't hear anything. So like it changes their perceptions. I'm sure it's crazy. I'm sure for 22 minutes to be the record, it has to be an insane experience as a human being of what you go through. And I think it makes you better. I think going through that would apply to other aspects of your life for how to handle pressure or change or whatever. But I'm definitely down to do it.
No, I'm down if you guys come up. Holy
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Shit.
100%. Yeah, holy shit. 100%, dude. It's funny because I've heard so many things about it. Like I had a friend do it last summer, and he told me it was a miserable experience. He lasted like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, that would be so fun to try because it's like what a attraction to have in the city too. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be
Interesting.
sick.
Yeah, we'll definitely put that together. Now, Ty did say that he had this thought of biting it. Have you ever had, whether it's in a fight or not, just to because like I told Ty, I always have these standing on a balcony. I just went on a cruise and I'm at the balcony and I'm looking like, what would it be like to jump?
Or that for sure.
At T-Mobile, we're at the top. I'm like, I wonder if I fell, if I would kill myself by hitting all these chairs below. I would never do it. So is anything like that ever entered your mind?
Ray,
that you want to repeat?
Problems, brother.
I mean, I just was startup him, bro. Like, yeah, I've been with him 15 years. He's been like this.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did you say I have problems or you have problems?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're one and the same, brother. I feel the same way you do, but I know how I talk about myself. And hearing somebody else say it, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? For sure. No, I'm definitely afraid of heights. Like heights is my biggest fear, and I love roller coasters. I love like I told my lady I want to go to the Strat tonight, go see the city at the all lit up. But yeah, I'm terrified. And that was my day job for a long time, like doing poured walls and foundations. I'd stand on top of a 16-foot wall, not strapped in. I mean, I've fallen off of a couple of them, and yeah, no, I at the Mall of America, there's like 4 stories, and it's not anything massive like the top of any skyscrapers here, but like I've definitely leaned over the railing and played around a little too much. So yeah, I like living on the edge. I was thinking about doing the bungee jumping on Thursday.
So Randy had a bit of.
I was thinking about bungee jumping on Thursday.
Okay.
I thought that'd be fun. And just we're out here. I think they offer a bungee jump off the Strat. I think that'd be a crazy experience.
I'll make a quick call. I'll see if I can set it up.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, he went from laughing to now he's scared I'm going to do it.
No, that's saving me money. I'm grateful.
No kidding.
Do that? I'm there for sure. Are you
kidding
me?
I'll reach out after the show. And just so you know, next Sunday is National Roller Coaster Day. So, if there's a roller coaster you want to go to on next Sunday, let me know. We'll be doing Hershey Park next Sunday.
Oh, so, that's exciting, man.
We're going to go hit that up just outside of Philly after UFC Philly.
Or you could do the roller coaster in the Mall of America, Randy. Like, that's where we could do the roller coaster. That's how big the mall is, as a roller coaster inside of it.
I know.
We got a bunch of them. It's weird.
I need to get to that mall, but now, it's in your backyard. We'll set up that room.
Dude, you guys have to come up because that would truthfully be. So I'll show you some crazy barbecue. I'll cook barbecue for you guys. I'll give you guys do a little home done brisket and shit. I'd love to be able to hang out with you guys for real.
Done. Of course, awesome. He said ship. By the way.
Yes, sir. No stutters. There's only one reason.
No, we'll set it up. We will definitely set it up. And I'd like to always, if I can do 2, 3, 4, 9 things now that you're there, the mall's there, that building's there. We'll do some cool stuff, but let's bring it back. Man. You seem to be in a great spot, so I don't know if I want to keep you there, if I want to talk about the fight and bring you down a little bit.
I'm ready for whatever, man. I know we're talking about the fight, and I'm anticipating war. I feel like my fight style's shown who I am, and it's not going to be much different this time. The game plan this time is to lay the pace on Guilherme. He doesn't respond well to pressure. And I know he's evolving. Obviously, every single one of us do after the fights. And I'm sure that loss is weighing heavy on him, as did mine. When I look at him, and no disrespect to him, I just don't see the tools that he has to finish me. Not in emphatic fashion. And, worst comes to worst, this is going to be a freaking dogfight. So meet me in the middle. Let's scrap. I'm going to tag you more than you tag me. We got the same reach. You're taller than me. You're supposed to be more athletic than me. I'm going to show the fat boys love this weekend, man. Like I said last week, I focused so heavily on the negative and the potential of what could be. And obviously the potential of what could be positive as well. But my wife knows that I hit these waves, man. And before the fight, I am a wreck. I am a mess, and I'm an emotional guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I've told Bisping this. Bisping told me before I fought Sharaf, you know, he was like, because I was crying in the fighter meeting, just talking about my family and talking about how grateful I am to be here. And he's like, you know, I understand you're an emotional guy and I understand that you're excited to be here, but you got to remember, Steven, like you're here to do a job. You're here to kick some ass. And I was like, no, 100%. I said, and with all due respect, Mike, this isn't the first time I felt this way. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, I feel like the only reason I'm here is because of my emotions, man. You know, the only reason I'm here is because I focus so hard on these fools. I'm not looking through Guilherme, and I see so many people talking about like the betting odds. Like I'm the one that put that stuff out there. And man, if it was my choice, it'd be a pick 'em. You know what I'm saying? We're 1-1. Yeah, I beat the guy or I fought the guy that's number 10 right now or whatever. But like, we're talking about a guy that is not no punk, man.
Right.
And I know what I'm capable of. And that fight with Petrino, I just rewatched it for the first time in a couple of months. I know what I'm capable of. I know where I belong. And Saturday night, I will be showing that to everybody in the world. I will be reminding everybody and myself why I deserve to be here and why I should be in the top 15.
I agree. And now we got to get that smiley guy back. That guy that was just having a good time like 3 minutes ago.
Hey, I'm sorry. I get narrow visioned.
And that's what it's all about. You know, and like I said earlier, you know, this is a work trip. This isn't vacation. This isn't, you know, whether it's Vegas or the O2 or whatever. You know, the goal is Saturday. But, you know, you got to stay level-headed, have a good time. And so is this not the process? I can't imagine the process being fun. What you do for a living now, is it fun or this is your job, you're good at it? And I always say this, Marcus Jones, #1 draft pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, attempted to become a UFC fighter. He did the Ultimate Fighter. He fought at UFC 100. And he said, you know what, Randy, I didn't like football. I was just good at it. I made a lot of money at it. Are you good at this? Is this what you want? Or do you enjoy fighting? I know. I can see. I already got the answer.
I had many days where I rode home in silence after getting my ass whipped in training. I had many conversations with myself after going home with a split wig or a black eye and a defeated morale. And many times I asked myself, do we want to do this? Is this something that we actually want to do? Do I want to sacrifice my body for this? Do I want to potentially get beat in front of millions of people? And that's if we get to the UFC. I love this. And not only am I decent at it, but I feel like I have found my purpose. I used to feel like I couldn't perform under pressure at all. And like as a teenager, like I was such an anxiety-ridden kid and like whatever, teenage kids, everybody goes through anxiety and all that stuff, whatever. But like the second I felt somebody watching me, I felt like I would immediately crumble under pressure. Now, from somewhere between 17 and now, that is a complete farce. I feel like I perform the best when I'm under the most amount of pressure, and I think that pressure makes diamond stuff is real, man. I was so afraid of what could be and all these what ifs, and I decided to give away everything to God, like I did my life, and God's in control. If it's in His will, it will be done. If it's in His will for me to be victorious, it will be done. And I'm just going to make sure I don't squander the gifts that He's given me. I'm going to put everything I have into these fights. And I love this, man. Like when I step into that cage, everything dissipates. I get to watch my opponent. And that's why I like walking out so much first, is because when I walk out first, I get to take control of that octagon, and then I lay eyes on my opponent as they walk out. And as soon as I see you round that corner, I will not disengage with my eyes. And if we lock eyes and you look away from me, I know that there's a far bigger piece of you that doesn't want to be there than I. And if that's the case, you're in for a long freaking night, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no place I'd rather be. And don't get me wrong, training camp is hard. There are moments where I think about, God, this ship would be so much easier if I just let it go, you know, if I just went back to concrete. But that stuff's hard too. And it's the same thing with being a fat guy and choosing to lose the weight. Choose your heart. I beg God for these opportunities. I beg God for this chance to be here. What kind of a moron would I be to want to disengage now, to want to walk away now. We're showing love to so many people that are struggling with their own mental health. And I think that's been the most beautiful thing about this journey is not only do I love being able to put pause on people and, and show my dominance, but I love the fact that I'm actually impacting lives. And I never thought that would be a potential, especially not some dumb pothead fat kid that's from, South Minneapolis, some ignorant kid. And it's like, man, the messages I receive from people, it puts me over the moon. I sit here and cry talking to my wife about some of the messages I get from people. And it's
motivational.
This is my purpose. I found my purpose, Randy. I found my purpose, man.
Oh, yeah.
I struggled for years trying to figure out where I was supposed to be, and this is it. And Saturday night, baby, let's go show the world that this is who I am and this is who I'm supposed to be. And I'm here for a long time and a good time, baby. Let's go have some fun.
Hey, Steven, never change that wearing your heart on the sleeve, man. The world needs more of it. No, I mean, like, I could sit and talk to you. I could listen to you talk all day, man. And for a guy who usually always talks, just listening to you, man, like you're passionate. And
we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk to Steven for a day. We're going to go up. We're going to Minnesota. Now I have a reason to get to the mall. Now I have a reason to go eat your barbecue. We can definitely talk forever. We've held you on way too long. I know you got other stuff to do. I can't wait to talk to you next week on Victory Wednesday. We'll get the ball rolling to come up and hang out in Minnesota. Steve, dude, I love you, man. You are the best.
Hey, you guys are the best, man. I love you guys to death, and thank you so much just for giving me the time of day and giving me opportunities to talk about this stuff and just showing the compassion and empathy you do. I really do care about you guys, and I got a lot of love for y'all. So thank you so much.
And we do with you. And call John XD as soon as we hang up. Get that taken care of.
Will.
All right.
God bless my friends.
Say hi to the family, and I'll talk to you during the week.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
He is the best. Victory Wednesday next week is going to be outstanding. Good stuff. What a good human being. Oh. And, came from some bad spots, and he's coming out on the other side. And that's
can't have a testimony without a test. So it's the way it works.
Kind of makes us feel good when he saw our name on the list. He's like, yes.
I mean, you can't have a heavyweight championship belt without a test.
A heavyweight belt right there, baby. We got to turn it. We got to say, this way.
But
knockout champion. Champions are made, not born. Knockout Radio. 40-some years, going strong.
So in between all that, I didn't want to cut that short because that was too powerful. But I just pushed Jake later to 145, if that's okay.
Well, no, it's not. But you can change him. Well, we've got Ralph Johnson at 135.
Okay.
We can try to, if he calls it maybe 150.
Okay.
Or tell him just come in and he can sit there and wait while we're talking to Ralph or whatever. But we'll definitely get him on in between. We have a 2, so we can keep it. It's going to be short. He's got a pretty cool event coming up, right?
Yeah, it's a Joker's World. It's 80 comics coming in from Kill Tony Comedy Mothership. Austin, Texas, become like the hub for stand-up comics. Kill Tony being the #1 show streamed every Monday night live. Joe Rogan, obviously, UFC Connection, owns the Comedy Mothership. So it's.
I saw something today that his facility, and I don't know if this is true. I saw something that said it cost $83 million. That can't be right, can it?
I wouldn't think it would be that much. I mean,
well, it could be the comedy club. It could be everything there, but still, $83 million is a lot of money.
I mean, they did say that the UFC lost $30 million on the Freedom 250 card.
No, they didn't.
So that's what the reports are.
Money-wise, they might have lost $30 million money, but do you put a value, a tag on everything that they've gotten? The exposure, the sponsorship. Did you see what they're selling the UFC 250 box of cards for? They're not. Topps is. And the thing that to me that's strange is in that box are fighters that didn't fight at UFC 250.
Wow.
I don't get it.
They should have let the people who do the commemorative coins for the U.S. Mint. They should have been in charge of the boxes. They're pretty good. They get them in chronological order.
Yeah, but at least they'd have the right thing. You know, why would you want a card of whoever? It doesn't even matter who, a John Jones in this group. This should be, you know, and you know there's a bounty out on the Donald Trump card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a bounty. Well, Dana put a bounty on it.
Oh, he wants that card?
He will get that card.
Wow.
Whatever it costs, he'll double it and he'll pay for it.
Well, like with remember the Lisa B. Anthony souvenir?
Lisa, there's my friend Lisa.
I mean, every woman's name is Lisa from now on. But but like a Susan B. Anthony coin, you know, like you have to do some so special collectible for that card. I thought the Freedom event should have some kind of collectible coin from the U.S. Treasury. I thought that would have been I think it was a missed opportunity because I don't see anything come out like that.
Well, first, that would have had nothing really to do with the UFC. That would have been from.
It was like a challenge coin. Like if you would have done like a challenge coin, one side UFC 250 logo, and then on the other side, you know, like the U.S. Treasury or.
Okay, well, again, that means it would be a U.S. Treasury thing.
All right, there's a Mount Rushmore question. Like, which president would you put on your coin? Like, if you got a UFC 250 commemorative coin, the back is the logo of the event. What president would you put on the head side?
All right. So my first question is, why are you putting a president on the back of a UFC 250 coin?
Oh, well, because you want it still to be like part of the U.S. government. That's the tie-in. It was at a government, the White House, this historic event. I mean, what are you going to put, Dana, because he's the president of the UFC?
Well, what are you going to put, George Washington, because he was the first president?
Possibly.
Martin Van Buren, because I know one of his descendants. Matter of fact, President Martin Van Buren's descendant is my daughter's godmother.
I don't know what that means.
That means a relative, a descendant, a relative of Martin Van Buren.
All right.
Is my daughter's godmother.
Which president was the boxer? Was that
Andrew Jackson?
No, was it Jackson?
Yeah, Andrew Jackson was a fighter.
Was it Teddy?
Well, he might be too. But Andrew Jackson was a fighter too.
Okay. Yeah, like so. Yeah, do you want a fighter on the coin, like a president that was a fan of combat sports or boxing, or do you want to go just with like policy or their impact in the nation or in history?
First, I think any president would be dumb. I don't get it. But my way around that is then I would just put Mount Rushmore on it.
Oh, so all four.
So you get four. It's stupid because I don't know what the tie-in. You know, yeah, it's 250, but there's so many other things you could do. You could do the Lincoln Memorial, just the building, or the White House. Just do the White House. Maybe that would make more sense because then you're not picking a president.
Isn't it time for our Mount Rushmore segment?
We blew through that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Dang. Well, there it is again.
Well, we just talked about it. Mount Rushmore of coins. What we said? Mount Rushmore of coins.
Coins. Oh, I mean, a Chuck E. Cheese token. I mean, at the Super Bowl, I offered to give some U.S. pilots or some people tokens to go up on a flyover. That was pretty fun. But let's go. Let's do the Mount Rushmore of breakfast cereals. That was a good one. I like that one.
Well, it wasn't breakfast cereal. It was breakfast, but whatever.
Oh, I thought it was breakfast cereals. Like, that's a good one. Like, what
pick one out there. Do it. You've got 3 minutes to get this done.
I mean, Fruit Loops.
I think your photo should be on the front cover of that box of cereal.
The toucan. Oh man.
Transition to the bird.
But like the fun thing about Kellogg's is like John Kellogg has a huge estate up in Gull Lake, Michigan. And so we did the tour, but then I found out that Fruit Loops, the ones going to Canada from the same facility, don't get flavored with the same coloring, the same dyes, the same chemicals. Like, because if they did, then Canada would require a warning label on the box like cigarettes. That is a known carcinogen, that it causes cancer, and then you would have to have a warning stamp on the box of cereal. So they use natural sweeteners, watermelon juice, and so because of that, the color of the cereal is very dull, and kids don't like it in America because it's not bright, it's not colorful, it's not eye-popping. And so they have two different formulas for Fruit Loops. U.S. version for our kids and our culture, and Canada gets the healthier version. Same family, same product. Crazy. So I'm gonna go with Fruit Loops.
I'll go Apple Jacks.
Ooh. Yeah. Going back to the Adam's apple. You're on Apple theme today. That's good.
You know when the last time I had a bowl of cereal was? Probably 1981.
Well, Wheaties was like the breakfast of champions.
Yeah,
right?
but Wheaties is
if you ate Wheaties, you would be Bruce Jenner. I don't know if that's why he turned to Caitlyn. Maybe it was the chemicals. I don't know. But like the greatest man of all time was the spokesperson for Wheaties.
I don't know if he was the greatest man. He was the greatest athlete of the time.
He won
Doesn't
the
make him the greatest man.
If you win the decathlon, I think that qualifies you as the greatest man.
No, it doesn't. It makes you the greatest athlete.
Well, a man is an athlete.
Right, but the greatest man doesn't have to even be an athlete. But winning the decathlon in the unspoken long list of unwritten rules makes you the greatest athlete.
Let's do a Mount Rushmore of greatest mans. You get 4 men from history, 4 greatest mans. And that could be an episode next week. I like this Mount Rushmore concept. This is brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
There it is again.
But you can't do research, right? Or are you saying we do research?
It would be more impromptu if we just do it off the dome.
Right.
Like the whole show is.
Right. But go ahead and name one doctor other than the one you've already mentioned 42 times today. Because one would have to be a doctor, right?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Absolutely. Now,
Dr. Scholes,
now if we do best pop, see, that's what, again, you don't ramble them all off.
What do you want? What?
You don't ramble them off. You say, all right, we're going to do Mount Rushmore of doctor. And then at least you get that first one before I would catch on. But you're right, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Scholes.
Nah, he's not my favorite.
Well, yeah, no, I like this premise though. It's cool. I like. Oh, Look at that! The producer chiming in. Look at that! Unmute yourself, producer.
He may have a Mount Rushmore, or maybe he could start attaching them. He's already doing enough, so we don't want to overwhelm him.
It's true. Oh, live? Not live?
No.
In, out?
All right, coming up, really any second. We're going to go out to Cali.
Cool. I only have one question for him, so
yeah.
do your thing.
One question.
That's my one.
Let's welcome to the show. I'm very excited about this, Mr. Ralph Johnson. Ralph, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, man. You didn't waste any time in that intro. I just came in and there you were.
See, I didn't want to keep you waiting.
Show business.
Exactly. So you guys were in town 2 weeks ago in the Tampa Bay area performing. Yes. I believe it's tomorrow in the Bay Area in San Francisco. Let's start with, I'm curious, how has touring changed over the 3.5 years? I know, I'm kidding. Decades of your career.
For us, it's gotten more comfortable. That's for sure. I mean, there was a time when and I mentioned this in my book, there's a time we were driving around in station wagons. That has come to an end. We have very nice tour buses, and sometimes we jump on private jets and do that thing, but that's how it has changed. And now, you know what? 55 years in, we can now stop and smell the roses, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I totally get it. I do want to talk about the book, but I want to tell you, first let me ask you this question. Have you ever been starstruck? Now, you guys have been around, you've been with kings and queens and everything. Have you ever taken a step back wow?
Starstruck. Well, going back, I think meeting President Obama was kind of a cool moment, but not really regarding people that are in the industry with us. No, I don't freak out and go crazy. It's okay, yeah, we're all in this together and let's do this,
So I wanted to tell you this story, and I'm not going to throw Matt under the bus, but we had somebody on a couple of weeks ago, and Matt was, from his childhood, and he was kind of well, I got to tell you a story, and I can't believe how long ago it was. I was at the Consumer Electronics Show about 12, 13 years ago, and I had the opportunity, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I've been a fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire for so long, and I got to interview the 3 guys, And I'm standing there and I'm like, all right, what do I do? And it went awesome, but that's the only time in my 40-year career, I don't want to say that I haven't been starstruck, but I was like tongue-tied that I'm talking to Earth, Wind, and Fire, the guys of Earth, Wind, and Fire, minus you were not there, but
Okay.
It was an incredible opportunity.
Well, we're still in it to win it, as I like to tell people. We still enjoy what we do. Every night we hit the stage, we're looking to do a personal best. We don't take it for granted. And it's still a fun thing.
And I was going to ask that. Is it still fun? And is there one song that you enjoy performing more than others?
Well, yes, to answer the first question, yes, it's still fun. But number two, see, all these songs are like your kids. So do you really have a favorite?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
But we treat them as like our kids, and so. But I do really enjoy doing "That's the Way of the World" and "After the Love Is Gone."
Is there a reason, or?
Well, because you know what, the vocal harmonies. It's the harmonies we're singing. That's what I enjoy most. And I was never a vocalist. My story about coming out front is very interesting because we were filming Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. At that time, we had two drummers. The other drummer was Freddie White. And our choreographer at that time was George Bazan, who, as you know, choreographed The Wiz on Broadway. So we'd been working with George, and we're filming Got to Get You Into My Life for the movie, And George looks back and he says, "Ralph, come off the drums, stand here, grab a mic, stand here next to Maurice." And I never got back on the drums.
Crazy. How different is it? How different is it being in the front versus, sitting down and banging the kit? Isn't that how you say it?
Banging the kit. Well, you could say that.
I did say that.
Well, as a drummer, you're sitting back and you're catching everything that's coming out. But now being out front, you've got the band behind you propelling you forward. So it is a little bit different because as a drummer, you kind of control tempos and feels. As a vocalist, you're going with the band. What they set up is what you go with,
What was your favorite outfit that you've worn throughout your career?
Oh, that's a tough question because back in the day, around 78, 79, when Bill Witten was doing our costuming, all of that stuff was incredible. It was very elaborate, very elaborate.
You got Matt.
Hey, Ralph. So, we know that the rock and roll scene's changed over the years, but you look great, man. What do you do to stay in shape? How do you stay healthy on the road? Because we've interviewed a lot of musicians, and you look incredible, bro. So whatever your tips on.
You know what? You're very kind. The check's in the mail. You should have it by Saturday.
Perfect.
Okay. No, man, you look. When we got with Maurice as 20-year-olds, he was already into eating right and vitamins and supplements, and so we kind of adopted that whole approach. And so we like to watch what we eat, how we eat, and it's paid off. I'm on a vitamin program, and I just try to maintain it. 75 is tough.
It's amazing, bro.
Talk about the process of Rhythm and Fire. What went into it? How long did it take? I know that it was just recently released.
It was released in May. Yeah, man. Let me tell you what I've been telling people about the book. If I come to you and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm going to write another book," pull out your gun and shoot me. Because, man, it's a process. Writing a book is more than a thought. Okay, because the first thing you do, you compile just tons of information. I sat with my writer, Rory Pullins, every week, once a week, in 2024. And we just started going, man. We'd sit there for an hour, compile a bunch of information, then he'd go away, come back next week, and we'd continue on. The editing process is nuts because you got to trim the fat. The publishers just want you to tell the story. Which is, yes, I understand. So you trimming stuff out that needs to be in there. So there's a lot of give and take, a lot of going back and forth, So it's the editing process. And then I decided that I would do the narration on my own book because we had the audiobook publisher. And so some people will call in someone to do the narration, but I didn't want that to happen. I had a person tell me, she said, Ralph, if the author doesn't narrate the book, I won't buy it. I'm like, we're not leaving any money on the table. So, I decided to narrate the book, and everybody that listens to it, everybody says, man, Ralph, you really delivered this nicely. So I invite you either to get the hard copy or if you're in the audiobooks, get the audiobook and you let me know.
I definitely will do that. And normally I'd say, what's your favorite story in the book? We're not going to do that because we want people to buy the book. So, give me like second or third favorite story in there.
Okay, second or third favorite story would be when we had our 4-engine turboprop. The gentleman that taught me how to fly, Duke Morton, was our captain. And he would allow me, after we'd get on the plane flying into another city and everybody fell asleep, he would open up the cabin door and signal for me to come forward. And I would sit there about 10 or 15 minutes flying the plane.
Wow.
They didn't find that out until Maurice's memorial.
So Ralph,
it was a secret a long time.
It was a secret for a long time, yes.
So I've got this old home phone. This is the Spirit of St. Louis commemorative landline phone. So my question is, out of everywhere in the world that you've played, do you have a final destination, like your last concert? Do you think about what venue, what country, what that place looks like?
Well, I will tell you this. My favorite place to visit is Japan. Absolutely love it. See, I went to Japan as a young man in 1969, straight out of high school, 10 years before Earth Wind went to Japan. I went over with a local group out of Los Angeles. So I have this really, really wonderful love for Japan. I always look forward to going back. We were there last April, and I'm looking forward to going back. And my second favorite place is Brazil.
Oh,
I love Brazil.
I got some Brazil stories, but I'll tell you that in person when I come out in September, because I'm going to come to Vegas.
I want to hear them.
Oh, no, I will definitely tell you those. Are you a sports fan? Are you a fan of any sport, team, player?
Oh, man, are you kidding? I'm a tennis fan. I play tennis twice a week when I'm at home. Formula One racing. Give me some Formula One racing. And, of course, NFL football. Come on, man.
Favorite NFL team?
Well,
I know you're out in California.
I have two. I'm from LA, so I got to go with the Rams. But my other favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys.
No Raiders. Raiders aren't LA, right?
Well, they're Vegas Raiders.
Well, they're the Oakland Raiders. I'm an Oakland Raider fan, not a Vegas Raider fan.
And a great team they are, but I got to go with my LA Rams. Got to do it. You know?
All right, final question for you.
Yes.
Over 50 years with Earth, Wind, and Fire, how have you been able to stay with all those guys? Matt's been with me for 15 years, and I want to use that gun you asked me about on him, not on you.
Well, luckily, man, the chemistry between myself, Philip, and Verdine is excellent. And we just don't have any problems. We run a very smooth, very tight ship. And when you have your chemistry and the chemistry is right and the guys in the band, you get along with everybody, that's a special kind of thing. So, no, man, we just able to get along and do the music. We're all about the music, you know.
Awesome. Where can people pick up the book? I'm going to do it as soon as the show is over. Where do we get it?
Amazon.com.
And I'm getting the audio. That way I don't.
You know what? If you get the audio, I would appreciate a call back or an email. Let me know. Say, Ralph, man, the audio really turned out good. I want to know what you think about my delivery. Seriously.
Okay. No, definitely. I'm going to do it. And like I said, I'm going to fly to Vegas. I want to come to the show in Vegas in September, and hopefully,
Actually, it's October.
October.
October 17th through the 31st at the Venetian.
I will be there. I'll have the people that reached out to you let you know. Maybe we can meet up, and I'll tell you in person.
Sounds good, buddy.
Awesome. I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Keep moving, brother. Keep moving.
All right, be good.
Good stuff. That was
right,
awesome.
bye.
Song.
It's the racket sports, Randy. That's adds 8.5 years to your lifespan by playing tennis or racket sports. You know
All right, we're going from one of my favorite bands of all time to something I love doing all the time, and that's laughing. So let's talk about what's coming to the St. Pete area. I think it's next week, right?
Yeah, August 14th and 15th, Friday and Saturday. The biggest comedy festival Florida's ever seen. That's what we're saying. I have no idea if that's true.
We are talking to Jake from Joke World. Now, Matt said there's like 4,363,000 comedians coming.
Yeah, a little short of that. We have 80 comedians coming for 2 days of live stand-up all day, starting at noon, ends at midnight. We have 5 venues, all in downtown St. Pete. So it's just stand-up showcases, live podcasts, some fun surprises. Then in the meantime, you can see some food trucks, some other fun vendors that we got set up. So it's basically like a big music festival, but instead of music, it's just all stand-up comedians from all around the country, all coming to St. Pete.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so Randy, you probably don't know this, Jake, but Randy actually is in a Guinness Book of World Record for the longest consecutive softball game being played. So tell us about the comedy home run derby on Saturday morning. Like, yeah, what does that entail? How does it lay out? And how can we
hear about this record? That sounds fun and grueling at the same time. Probably grueling for the audience, I assume. We're doing a home run derby Saturday morning at a local park. It's one of the comedians on our lineup named Matty Stu. He already had content that he makes where he does like a pitch challenge, then a home run derby just with his comedian friends. So if you want to see a bunch of unathletic, fat, hungover comedians try to hit home runs, this is a place for you. We have a national anthem that's going to be really good. We got Florida Man Games sponsoring the home run derby. Shout out to them. And they asked us if they could get a softball field so they had a chance to actually hit it out of the park. We could only find a baseball field, so could be something worth watching if you like, slightly disappointing sporting.
Welcome to Knockout Radio. That's what we do. That's who we are. So, yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a little competitive kind of thing, and I was going to call a friend of mine, former Sheriff Bruce Mead, and I'm sure you're not familiar with who he is, but he once hit a softball 450 some feet. He had a bat named after him. Wow. Played on the Michael Bolton softball team until I was able to steal him from him. But I am in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest slow pitch softball game. Now, and I always say this just so that there's no misunderstanding. It was and wasn't a legitimate game. So it wasn't tied. It was, we knew how long we had to go. So I always tell whoever's asking me about it, how long do you think the longest consecutive softball game was in time?
Ooh. For some reason, my first guess, I'm thinking like 12 hours.
I guess again.
I'm going to go
guess again.
15 minutes and 30 seconds.
Guess again.
Or sorry, hours. I'll go 16 hours.
Yes, keep it. You're like, all right. Hey, at the rate you're going, you're going to be on next week's show. It was 104 hours.
Yeah,
104 hours. Yep.
4 days, over 4 days.
4.5 days. 4.5 days.
Without leaving, or if you're like, let's say your team's hitting, can you leave real quick and get a McDouble and come back? Or are you at the park the whole time?
Well, you can as long as you're back when your team goes on the field. So only 10 on a team, no substitutes. Somebody did get hit with a line drive, and the official said you have 2 minutes to get up or the game's over. Now, we did get 5 minutes off an hour that we could accumulate. So we started Tuesday morning. I'll tell you the real weirdness in a second. We started Tuesday morning. We took our first break Thursday morning. So we played 48 consecutive hours. And the only reason we took the break on Thursday were the other 19 were all police officers. And 2 moron derelicts were breaking into the cars in the parking lot. So they went running down the street, Main Street in Safety Harbor, Florida, as I took a nap. I'm not a cop. I took a nap. This is a true story. So I had a game Monday night. I tried to break my leg Monday night. I slid into third base. I wanted to injure myself because I knew I could do it. I'm a veteran. I've been through worse. I wasn't going to play 3 days and then some civilian police officer go, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going home.
Yeah.
They were told by the sheriff at the time, if anybody quit, they're fired.
Wow.
So they were throwing money, and this is like in the 80s, you know, $200, $300, $400 is a lot of money. It still is.
Yeah.
These police were throwing money down in a pile. It got pretty substantial for me to quit. I'm like, there's zero chance I'm quitting.
Wow.
And we ended Saturday night, nonstop in the Guinness book. Yep, for sure.
How much sleep was it? That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. That's nuts. Were you sleeping at all? Could you get any like naps in?
Well, you only got 3, 4, 5 minutes. So yeah, you could doze for 42 seconds, but it was as legit as a non-legit game could be. You know, you might foul a ball off with, you know, 1 strike but you had to run. You couldn't walk. You couldn't clown around. The Guinness Book of Record people were there, and yeah, it was incredible.
Wow.
So yeah, let's do a comedy show for 104 consecutive hours.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be. We'd have to switch out the crowd probably. That'd be harder on the crowd than the comedians, I think.
Well, no, yeah, you can switch out the crowd, but they have since changed it, and I want to break this record and play for 2 consecutive years, nonstop. Because the record now is you can have as many people as you want on the team. Well, anybody can do that.
Oh, just a consecutive game, then that would
right.
Be
Awesome. Get me 2,000 teams of 15 people. Yeah, for sure. But yeah. So where can people get tickets? When should they come out? Not more importantly, but I'm a foodie. Talk to us about the food trucks.
Yeah, so tickets are at jokeworldfest.com. World is spelled without an O in it, just to make it a little harder on everybody to find. Or if you just follow us on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, we've been blasting the links out like crazy. Or just Google Joke World Comedy Festival, and you'll be able to find it. We have 1-day passes if you just want to come Friday. Or if you just want to come Saturday. Or the 2-day pass gets you into every single show. All 5 venues, all day. There's no VIP or exclusive things that you miss out on. If you have a ticket, you can see everything that we have. And starts at 2:30 on Friday. We have a happy hour starting at 1 to get people checked in and to start mingling and whatever. But the first show will be around 2. And then Friday starts at noon. Technically, the home run derby is at 11, but the stand-up starts at noon. So we'll be going all day Saturday. So if you like, comedy, laughing, day drinking, food trucks, we got a good sandwich one out there. We got an iced coffee one. And I think we're still looking actually for 2 more. We're finalizing that up. So also, if you own a food truck in Florida and you want to come out, it should be a really good time. 80 comedians, and then also, just tons of people enjoying those comedians. But go to also, if you go to Joke World Fest and you have a 4-pack, if you want to come with friends, 4-packs are 25% off. So you get a good deal there if you want to come laugh with friends. But really, we're just trying to bring more comedy to the area and celebrate 5 years of our channel, which is kind of like comedy news and sports center for comedians, kind of like letting people know what's going on in the comedy world.
Where's the home run derby being played?
Campbell Park.
Okay. All right. Which is down by, for people don't know, that's down there by the Trop. So it's downtown, not far from Ferg's. And, we're all familiar. Matter of fact, Campbell Park is where, when I was bat boy for the St. Louis Cardinals, they were doing renovation at Al Lang in St. Pete, and we played at Campbell Park.
Wow.
So, yep.
I know a lot about Ferg's, less about Campbell Park. But I like to spend my time at Ferg's for sure. It's kind of we want everything to be within walking distance. That's definitely the farthest away anything is. It's centered around Coastal Creative, which is like a 2-room venue that does a bunch of awesome shows. And then right next door to them is Steve Station, a kava bar that's letting us rent out their space the whole weekend. And then right across the street from them is Off Central Players Theater, which is another like theater seating stage room. So everything is going to be within a little triangle walking distance. Friday, we have a venue about 6-minute walk down the road too called Spitfire Comedy House, where we'll be doing some live podcasting. And then Saturday we have the park. So everything is close and easy. So you just get the pass, and then you get the schedule and see which shows sound good to you, which people you want to see if there's a line, see if there's any free seats. If it's full, you go to the next one, and kind of bop around, enjoy yourself, get drunk, laugh with your friends, meet new friends. Should be a good time.
Awesome.
So Jake, look, the comedy world exploded with the popularity of Kill Tony, the streaming. A lot of the guys are coming from Austin for this show. And I know this past Friday night, we went to Side Splitters. My wife and I went and saw Dedrick Flynn, saw Cam. And so I know Cam will be there this week. He's performing live. And it inspired me to get back on stage, and I signed up for open mics, side splitters on Sunday night at 7 up here in my neck of the woods in Wesley Chapel. So I'm getting back on stage because it just seems like such a fun industry now. It seems like a revitalization of the industry. And it just seems like it's just so much fun to be in and around. And the fact that you have 80 of the best comedians coming to St. Petersburg, maybe we can make it the next Austin, a mega hub for talent. And I mean, we know that MMA kind of has a big following here because of bare knuckle, and maybe comedy could be the second Austin in the country. So
that would be awesome. I've thought about it myself. I mean, there's no state income tax, which is something similar to Austin. It's got great weather. It's got great food. And I realized because we've been around here a lot. I used to live in Tampa by Armature Works for about 3 years. So that's where I got familiar with this area in the first place. But since coming back here for the festival, we've been spending a lot more time in St. Pete specifically. And I love St. Pete. It's beautiful. And also I didn't really realize they're going to have like 5 or 6 very good comedy clubs coming up soon. Like Side Splitters is opening a smaller location over here. They got the Sunshine Cafe. They got something coming soon called the St. Pete Comedy Club. And you still got Coastal Creative and Spitfire, which is part of our festival too. They're going to have like enough stages for someone to be able to move here and actually get really good at comedy and be able to do multiple shows every night, which is the advantage of somewhere like Austin or New York, is where like if you're just starting out, you can go do at least 3 up to like 5 or 6 shows in one night. And not a lot of places have that. So same people have that. It's just about getting audiences there, because, you know, you don't want to be, you got to perform to somebody. So they're going to have the clubs and the infrastructure. Hopefully they can just get the comedians there and then the people to support it.
Awesome. Jake, tell everybody how to get a hold of you one more time. Tickets available on your website at
jokeworldfest.com. We'll see you there August 14th and 15th. 80 comedians come to St. Pete. It's going to be just nonstop comedy at 5 different venues. We'd love to see you there. It's our first time, but we want this to go well, then just keep returning to this city every year and just really make it a comedy hub, kind of like you said. It'd be awesome.
Awesome. Let's do it.
We'll see
Jake,
you there,
thanks
brother.
for your time. We'll talk to you either later today or tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Later, brother.
Good stuff. Comedy right where it needs to be, right here in the Tampa Bay area.
It's the best medicine. I mean, comedy is the best medicine. And look at how great Ralph looks. Earth, Wind, and Fire. 8 right, 75 years young, bro. Like, that guy looks like he's in better shape than you.
Do you know how many audiobooks I've listened to in my life?
0. Now you have to listen to.
I am. No, honestly, I am going to do it. I am going to do it. I'm going to reach out to Billy, who's probably still listening. I am going to fly to Vegas. Hopefully there's a UFC that weekend. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and if Billy can set it up where I can meet up with Ralph, I'm going to go see one of my favorite bands again, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then go hang out with Ralph.
Awesome dude, though. Great energy.
All right, so we're moving from Earth, Wind, and Fire and going to see them to the comedy show this weekend. Back to our main love. Let's welcome back to the show. It's been a little while, Darren Elkins. Darren, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Great to have you on. What's the biggest change in the sport since your first fight, which was what, just a couple weeks ago? I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah,
I was at your first fight. I covered your first fight.
Okay.
To today. What's the biggest change?
I'd say it's probably the science behind it. How everybody trains now, how the weight cutting's done differently, and just the level of athletes.
And probably some of it is back in the day where the athletes had to have a regular, 8 to 9 to whatever it is, 9 to 5 job, and then train and all that kind of stuff. So luckily, that's gotten a little bit better.
Yes, it has. That does make a big difference.
Talk about, because I have talked about this, when a fighter makes the announcement that you've made concerning this fight on Saturday, was it hard not to change your routine? This has been reported it will be your last fight camp. It will be your last fight week. Is it still, did you try to keep it as close to what it's always been?
Yeah, I mean, I almost retired after my last fight. I thought about it for a while. I had some injuries going on, and I decided I was going to do a retirement fight. And when I did it, it was mostly because, listen, I want to have a good camp. I want to have fun with my training partners. I've done this for a long time with now. And I want just good memories for my last one. I want to do the one thing I wanted to do is leave my gloves in the octagon and do it the right way.
You know, I've always said that once a fighter kind of puts that in their mind, it's not that you've checked out because you haven't done that, obviously, but it's kind of like, is it harder to go to the gym in the morning? You know this is your last fight. Is it harder to not do whatever because you know it's your last fight?
For me, it's not. I mean, I'll fight for my legacy here. I didn't like my last fight. I didn't have the results I wanted. So I want to go out with some good notes. I want to go out and win, obviously. So it was easy to stay motivated. It was easy to just, let all the pressure go and just say, let's put it all down one more time, train hard, feel good, and hopefully I fight good on Saturday.
Give me your thoughts on your opponent. And I always ask you fighters this. Do you need thoughts? It's what you're going to do on Saturday, not what he's bringing to the table.
He's a strong younger guy, obviously. He's got a lot of potential. But as far as my thoughts, when it's a damaged fight, it's going to be a fun fight to watch. So I think it'll be a fun fight to watch, but I think it's going to be in my favor.
Before I throw it over to you, Matt, have you collected anything from your career since day one? I believe the fight was I know it was in Denver. From back in your first fight or your fifth fight or what, have you kept any of that stuff?
Yeah, I've got some stuff. Obviously, I got all the posters from day one. How every fight week we have posters and they have signed posters. I've kept those. I kept I kept my first UFC gloves. I've kept some of the shirts, not all of them. There's so many shirts and everything, but I kept some of it. Looking back, I wish I would have kept more, but I've got so much stuff now. This is gonna be 31, so it was good.
Off the top of your head, and you may have to go look at it, and I'll reach out to you next week when you get home. I'm curious what your autograph looked like at that first UFC in Denver compared to how you signed yesterday. How close are the two signatures?
My probably now it's a lot worse because I don't like when I first got to UFC, I was nervous. I wanted to, do everything the right way. Now I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for so long. Let's just do this. It doesn't really matter as much as you think it does.
Good stuff. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Darren. So I grew up in Indiana, man. And
okay, cool.
I know a lot of states got recognition for, being that pioneer of the UFC, like Iowa and Ohio and, Florida, Albuquerque. But man, for what you did for the sport, being from Indiana, the legacy you've left behind, it's incredible, bro. Like it doesn't get enough credit, and you don't get enough recognition for that impact that not only you had in my life, but in many people's lives from Indiana that I grew up with, went to school with. And just to give that sense of anything's possible, man, that us kids from a small town in Evansville, Indiana can make it. And so I just want to say thanks for that, man. Thanks for what you did for me and everyone else.
No problem. Yeah, when I first got in, there wasn't even a lot of fighters around in Indiana. It was like the guy who got me into it was Keith Winooski. He had one fight in the UFC, so he's the one that kind of guided me through the whole thing. He had the most experience in Indiana. And then we had Eddie Wineland, and then we had Miguel Torres. Those were the big guys in the area.
Chris Lytle too, right?
Yeah, Chris Lytle.
Yeah, he's from Indianapolis. I'm more from like the Chicagoland area, and he's more from the Indianapolis area. But yeah, Chris Lytle was definitely an Indiana boy.
Miguel Torres, remember the Hall of Fame? Miguel went into the Florida MMA Hall of Fame. Do you know Miguel? Are you friends with him?
Yeah, yes, I do. I am friends with Miguel.
All right, so let me tell you a quick Miguel story, and if you run across him, tell him you know the story. So we both went into the Hall of Fame in 2024, and Miguel, let's just say he had a drink or 17, and he lost his backpack. So he's running around crazy trying to get his backpack, and he asked somebody that was in my little group, he goes, hey, do me a favor, go accept my award, and he left. So I pre-warned when I gave my speech. I said somebody will be coming up in a moment, blah, blah, blah. So this person goes up, and the guy who runs the Florida MMA Hall of Fame, Ralph Garcia, looked around and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Because he didn't know who he was. And I yell from the back. I go, "No, it's all legit. Let him go." So he goes, and I'll have to be clean because I always tell fighters this is FCC radio. So he goes, "Well, I've been asked by Miguel Torres to make a statement. You can all F off." And they go, "Yep." He definitely was told to go up there. They knew that was Miguel. Absolutely no issues. So
Nice.
kind of funny. So what's the plans? What's the future for Darren Elkins?
I've got a lot of things going on. One thing is that my son, he's really getting into MMA now. So I'm coaching him, I'm coaching him in jiu-jitsu. I'm coaching him in wrestling. I'm like his main coach for wrestling. So I'm guiding him through that. And then I'm going to heal my body, enjoy life a little bit. But, I'm also a union pipe fitter out of Chicago, local 597. And I'll do some pipe fitting. I'll probably transfer my card out of Chicago. I mean, out of the Chicago Union and go to Sacramento and work part-time and just stay busy and enjoy life, man. It's been fun. I'm a third generation pipe fitter, so I got a lot of things I can do. I got a lot of different offers, and I'm just gonna go take some time, enjoy life, and actually not be too busy for a while, and then figure it all out more.
So so it's not necessarily retire. You're just retiring from fighting, and you're still going to find other things, obviously, because my wife just retired, and she still has done nothing since September, and she's like, everything that you did, and you need some of that time too.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do some time to just reflect, enjoy life. I promised I'd take my wife for a couple of vacations. She's been real patient for this fight camp, so we're going on vacation. I'm going to coach my son here for some of this stuff for the next few months, and then I'm going to get back to work. I'm a guy who has to stay busy. I like to stay busy. Do I have to? No, but I like to stay busy, and I have to have purpose in life. And I think that's the driven factor in my life is I won't let myself fail. I've got to have something to do. I've got to work on something. So
could you have ever thought in 2010 when you had your first UFC fight in Denver that the UFC would become what it is today in 2026?
No, man. I mean, it's how much has changed, how much, now we got the uniforms, we've got fights every week. When I first started out, it was like every month you'd have maybe 2 fights a month, maybe less than that. They didn't have all the prelims on TV. It was only the main card people they were streaming. Now we got the PI out here, which is like, it's so nice. They make all of our meals. I mean, how easy is that? Fight week, all we got to do is just come here and show up, have all of our stuff, make weight instead of like, what am I going to eat? Where am I going to go to do this? It's all. And, going to that statement, I never thought when I first started, I'd be 42 years old and still fighting this game. It's like, if you would have told me that, I would have laughed at you. Like, no way, man. I'm not going to be that old still doing this. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, God, man.
Oh, yeah. So, Darren, all right. So, Randy's the OG of the UFC. This was his original first flight he took with Charles Lindbergh, the, Spirit of St. Louis across the ocean. But you get one phone call to call out anyone from history, alive or dead, real or fictitious, to step inside the octagon against Darren Elkins. Who's getting that call?
Let's go Bruce Lee. That'd be cool, right? Bruce Lee would be like, I mean, he's a smaller guy too. I don't want to call out a giant, a Viking of a guy. I want to call out somebody more my size. So let's go Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Right, there you go. Jot it down. Darren, thank you for your time. Enjoy the week. Enjoy retirement. Let the body heal and enjoy life.
All right. Thank you. You guys take care.
Hey, Darren, Bobby Evans says hello as well. So we've been cheering for you Saturday, bro.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
The Indiana boys on Indiana night. Let's go.
Yeah, Indiana. Let's go.
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. Good stuff. Good stuff. I hate when it's not even worded right, and if they don't leave, you have to help a little.
Right.
And then they just, the guests, and they've all done it. Ralph,
maybe maybe you could be Dr. Kevorkian, like the assisted.
I kind of feel like it a little.
You pushing our guest off of the panel.
I kind of felt bad. I'm like, and it says kick from studio. So I kicked Ralph Johnson from the studio.
Well, speaking of kick, you talking about broken legs, like into softball to get out of other softball. Like I was at the Ritz Theater in downtown Sanford, Florida for the fights last week, like the Mike Sawyer production. And the signs that break a leg before you leave the property. And do you know what that's for? Do you know why they say break a leg? Like
I know it has something to do with the theater.
Well, it's like they hope you make the cast, right? So you go for the audition. It's on your way out of the theater. It says break a leg. It's like a blessing of like hope you make the cast, like So, but with Conor McGregor's legs being suspect and you trying to break your own leg,
I did honestly. I that's not just that's not made up. I slid in on purpose at third base in hopes that I would break my leg. I should have just said injure myself, but didn't work.
Now you know why Steven Asplund thinks you're a psychopath. Like, like that guy's got problems.
I don't know about you because I've told you I don't give you gifts anymore. I don't book stuff for you anymore. I don't expect you to show up at airplanes and such. I'm going to Minnesota. I've always wanted to go to the Mall of America, which I think would be cool. I'll bring my equipment so that I can broadcast from up there, and I'll go into the room. I'll last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you think it'd be that long?
Well, I guarantee you can't go in with somebody else. I can guarantee that.
That defeats the purpose.
Of course.
I mean, it's got to be. It's solitude. It's isolation. It's taking away senses of your body, like the five senses, right? Sight, smell, taste, touch, sound. So, I mean, to take away sound, it's got to be a crazy feeling. But then I guess perhaps we'd probably feel what it feels like to be Matt Hamill. I mean, like.
Well, no, not at all. Because according to what you said, you're not taking away sound. You claimed that you'll be able to hear your heartbeat.
Right, but it's an internal, like because it's so quiet you can't hear anything. There is no sound. Right,
but you'll hear. You're saying that you'll hear your heartbeat.
Right. The only thing you hear, like the tendons creaking when you move your arm, or like your your cartilage or whatever.
Then no, you wouldn't be like Matt Hamill because he couldn't because he can hear now. But if you can't hear, you can't hear. It's not a feeling. You're saying that you can hear your heartbeat. So it's different.
That's what's reported.
No. But I'm saying if that's the case, then that's different because that's the only part that I think that would drive you crazy is that you can hear your heartbeat. But not hearing, I don't hear when I sleep. Do I? I don't know.
You do. I mean, you always, you hear. You're just not conscious of it. But you still hear it. Still there.
We'll do it. If you go, you're going to need to get a hotel.
What sense would you want to lose if you lost one? Like, would you lose taste? Would you lose smell? Would you lose sight? Would you lose hearing?
Well, definitely not sight.
Touch?
Definitely not sight.
Oh, so sight's the most important to you.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, I know that now I'm going to jinx it on, but whatever I pick fourth, that's what's going to happen to me. So I want to be strategic. Fourth, my fourth sense, since you lack it, would be you.
Wow. I mean, but like with taste, like so you love the taste of food or the flavor. I mean, I'm asking because for some people that's the most critical, right? Like the taste of a good food or a steak. They never have, like people who had long COVID report that they lost taste since the vaccine.
I could, if I had to, like I would rather lose that than lose an arm, lose a leg, lose sight, lose hearing. Yeah, I could. I wouldn't want to. I don't know what I would rather lose than that. But I eat bland food anyway. A lot of times I'm like, God, that didn't even taste like anything, and I ate it. Oh, it was great. Yeah, what did it taste like? I don't know.
That's the one thing about bodybuilding. Like when you eat for just nutrition, like you don't really enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, it's a bland chicken breast.
Like I haven't really enjoyed food since I became a pro bodybuilder. It just I lost my love for it. I just look at it as like nutrition, like whatever I need.
I'll let you know next week.
What are you gonna eat? The barbecue? Going to eat the barbecue in Minnesota?
Well, no, that's not next week. Next week, I'm going on a 2.5 day food tour.
Really? Where are we going? I'll drive.
Well, A, we're not going anywhere. B, I'm going to New York City on Thursday. I have a full itinerary of about 9 or 12, somewhere between 9 and 12 stops. Then I take a train to Philadelphia, and there's about the same on Friday, UFC on Saturday, and then carte blanche on National Roller Coaster Day at Hershey Park on Sunday. It'll be a good time.
I feel like I need to be there. Like, sponsors, send in some money. I mean, if Ralph Johnson from Earth, Wind, and Fire sending me a check, send your check to P.O. Box. I need to go to Philly with you, Randy. I got to check on the Liberty Bell, man. It's had a crack problem. I'll make sure it's getting better.
I think you've got a crack problem.
No, I'm just trying to help.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A full itinerary from the time we land. We're I don't know what word I want to use. Train in it, subway in it. Not renting a rental car until Sunday. Yeah. So Sunday, we'll rent a car early in the morning, and then go to Hershey Park, and then fly home.
That sounds like a fun weekend. I wish I had a private jet. I would just fly up there and meet you, but I don't.
Yeah, I wish you did too. I wish you had it, but then I could use it without you.
I do. Do you like my new phone though? Look at the new addition to Off the Hook. It's got this whole speaker system. It's got a clock in it. It's got. I mean, it's a cool. This is a cool concept, man. Whoever,
for somebody that has no money, you buy a lot of garbage.
I do. I collect it. But it's got this traditional receiver. This is the way I grew up using a phone in the house.
Of course.
So, but Randy, so you've traveled all over. Like, where's the one bucket list on your map? Where would you want to be? Or where's somewhere you haven't been that's number one on your bucket list?
I was out at covering the Bucks the day before yesterday. Did get some pretty bad news, which we're still working on, so maybe we can change their opinions. But I talked to Big Nasty, and he said Norway is incredible.
Oh, really?
That he just went, him and his wife, and the full tour, the same thing. They had all these excursions all set up and everything, that Norway is supposed to be off the chain. My brother has gone to Berlin. He said it's amazing. But here's my struggle. I want to go to Europe. I want to go do things, but I also there's so much in the States I haven't seen. As stupid as I've been told it is, Mount Rushmore is supposed to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't been there either.
But there's nothing there.
The Buffalo BKFC is there this weekend. Isn't it the Buffalo Chip Sturgis event? Isn't that this weekend?
I've never been, so I don't know what else is there. My second dumbest thing, my first was not getting off Southwest when they offered me $2,500, which I'll never relive that or live it down. I could have gotten off, I think it was $1,000, but I was taking Sean to Niagara Falls. There was a UFC in Toronto. We were going to go. I'd already been there. And you know what I said when I went? Is this it?
Oh, wow.
And then I went again. It's cool, but there's nothing there. So that's why, of all the places I want to go see Mount Rushmore just to see it. But that's all that's there. Why would I do it? Why would the time, the money, the effort, when there's so many other things to do? Sal D'Amato called me yesterday from Sicily.
Wow.
And we talked about Sicily, which would be cool.
So let's say you were Ralph Johnson. You traveled the world. You played all these venues. Your final venue, your final concert, all time, you get to pick the venue. Are you going to go nostalgia for someplace that meant something so much when you were younger and try to rekindle that feeling, from the past? Or are you going bucket list, place you never went that was like a dream? So put yourself in Ralph's shoes. What would you say for you, Randy? Which one's more important?
Well, first and foremost, if I had a career like Ralph Johnson, I've been everywhere. I've played everywhere.
Not
I'm
everywhere.
in the where have you played? Well, I'm sure
Antarctica. I mean, I don't
Right,
think
but I'm saying that obviously isn't a place that they've wanted to play, or they would have played there. You're not talking about a good band. You're not talking about an A-OK, but you're talking about, are you ready?
A
legendary band.
For sure.
Earth, Wind & Fire is one of the greatest bands, in my opinion, of all time. Listening to their music, like I said, I listened to 6 or 7 songs this morning, and I was so excited. Not nervous like I was. That was the most nervous I've ever been when I interviewed the Whites.
I wonder why they left out the water element in the name of their group. They could have had fire, water, like the elements. But why did they leave water out?
Well, why did you ask?
Water's so crucial.
I wouldn't know.
3 days without it, you die. That's how important water is. But it's more.
But water is in everything, so it's not just water. I haven't drank water probably I couldn't tell you, but it's in the drink that I drink.
Yeah, right.
So why aren't they called Earth, Wind, and Diet Coke?
EWDC, I like it. Sounds like a rap group. EWD and C. No, that's the water element. I think that's the most important element.
I know there was a reason. I think I Googled it once where it came from, but I don't remember.
But I'll tell you what, man, going on this vinyl chase, it's kind of fun. And I think there's a disconnect from just pushing play on an app and listen to it in your car, on your phone, or headphones. But going to search for the vinyl or going through
what are you searching for? Do you know, or is it just?
So I was looking for, obviously Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Sure, you will.
So I was searching for that because I want to have the record, here, and then
I had one.
Through.
I have one at home.
As you're going through it, you see all these different names of bands that you have no idea, you never heard of, but then you hear a song and then you're like, wait a second, that's them? No way. So it's just kind of cool, to go backwards in time, and then you can't fast forward. It's on a needle. So you're trying to skip to songs and you have to hit it with precision, or it's just a random, it's very cool. It connects you to the music, I think, a little bit more. That's what I'm saying.
No, that makes sense. Then you're not necessarily, on a search.
No, I'm really more for the
your
searches.
Right.
Yeah. And then back in the day, if you remember, going to school, somebody would show up to school with a CD or a tape or a vinyl, and then you were like, "Oh, I got to go get that." So then you would go to the mall and you would go to the record.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Somebody carried a vinyl record to elementary school.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had turntables. People were we were DJs, man. We all wanted to be rappers, hustlers, rappers. That's what we did in the hood, man.
Hold on, I got to take a little water.
So we did. We were b-boys. Everybody's rapping, breakdancing, hanging out on the stoop. I came from the hood. That's why hood saved me. So that's what we did, man. We all wanted to be rappers. That Rapper's Delight.
I kind of liked one of the albums you said, and you're thinking that you probably did think about with having a weird Al Yankovic. I just watched something. I think it was an old when he was with Howard Stern being interviewed, and asked him about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, he basically said, that he's never, stayed awake thinking about it, but yeah, it would be an honor and this, that, the other. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is such a joke. Who votes and who's qualified to vote. And there's certain artists that are not in it that you have to roll your eyes at. But We're Al Yankovic is one of your 4 albums. I respect that. I like that.
But there's 6 rap groups in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know if I can name them all, but you could probably guess them.
I bet I can.
Really? You couldn't name? Obviously Outkast is in there.
Never heard of them, but RMDC, RDC, what are their names?
Run DMC.
Run DMC.
I'm sure they have to be in there.
The Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys is in there. Yeah. Probably NWA.
Tone Loc.
Public Enemy.
Tone Loc's coming to Fergs.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That guy made it cool to have a raspy voice.
You know who else is coming to Fergs?
Huh.
Gene freaking Simmons.
Yeah. I got to get me a Kiss album. That would be cool to add to my collection. Then have Gene lick it, or sign it or whatever.
I think the song's called "Lick It Up."
Okay, there you go.
That's the name of their song.
So that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a Kiss album.
It's not hard. You know that there's a vinyl store in.
Yeah, but I don't want to find it like that way. I don't want to go to a record store and just go to the alphabetical order in the crate and then pick one out. I want to find it in the wild. I want to find it at a garage sale, a thrift store. Like, I want that hunt. I'm looking for that.
There's a place in St. Pete, and I don't know why a vinyl store and a vintage store are different. It's the exact same thing. But go to a place in St. Pete called Curated Heat. They have tons of albums.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that randomness. So I'm going to put together a Mount Rushmore. I'll collect them, and then I'll put them on display behind me. But maybe a Boy George record makes it. Definitely Michael Jackson has got to make it. Oh. How can you have a Mount Rushmore without the Thriller album? I'll take that as a concession.
No, I got a text message from one of our segments coming up who got hit by lightning.
Oh, what?
Our producer got hit by lightning earlier, not personally, the area. And Jared's, I guess, complex got hit by lightning.
Oh, wow.
So we may or may not have Inside the Distance today.
Dang.
And we're doing something special tonight. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. What is that? I'm familiar with kind of the premise. Like it's like a talk about predictions segment.
We're going to do a chat. So join us on the YouTube channel tonight at 8:30. We'll go, 60, 45, 60, 75 minutes, and basically the same thing that we're doing now. And we'll talk about this weekend's fights, last weekend's fights, next weekend's fights. You and me fighting, whatever, bare knuckle fighting, Fenway coming up in a couple weeks. It's called an open panel.
There you go.
So if your name's open not even in this panel, you're in.
Naughty by Nature should definitely be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. OPP was a legend. That was an anthem. Do you know what OPP stands for, Randy?
Offensive. Luckily, we got saved. We don't have to talk about.
I'm just saying. That was.
All right, let's finish our talk for this weekend's UFC, and if we can put them in the screen there, producer. Welcome to the show, Miles John. Miles,
what's up, guys? Good, man. How you doing?
Just trying to get you up here on the stream. I think my boy fell asleep, but I don't. Steve, can you move Miles to the there? Thank you.
There we go.
Miles, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Not too bad. So we're going to talk about a few different things, and I know that there's a big fight coming up this weekend. But I found out because I actually did a little bit of research. I try not to. I just try to talk. Do you still have your nursing license?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking about that this morning. I never renewed it, so I'd have to go back and see. But I haven't renewed it in a while, so I'm not sure it's still good.
The reason I'm asking, my wife is a nurse. She just retired after almost 40 years, and
congrats to her.
Yeah, she's so happy. And I was going to bring this up about, which I'm sure you're familiar with, your mom and your wife, I believe, are also nurses. People have no idea what you all do and what nursing does. And she's been retired almost a year, and she still hasn't caught up on her sleep. She would get up at 4:30 in the morning. She had to be at work by 5. It might even have been earlier. She's had both knees replaced, a hip problem. We don't think of that. We just think, we go to the hospital, we need to get better. We're not thinking of the nursing. I hate to say doctors. As nurses, we know we don't talk a lot of good about doctors sometimes, but what the nurses do. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's a very overlooked position, and that's why I always feel kind of bad if I'm ever like, no, I'm not, like, nursing wasn't for me, because I started fighting and opened a gym, because I do still just have so much respect for nurses, and I understand like how hard the job is. And my mom's been a floor nurse for 20 plus years, and I just have so much respect for nurses. So yeah, I'm not sure my license is renewed right now, but my love and admiration for nurses is still there, and I'm sure one day I'll be using them and very grateful for them. So,
well, but you can renew yours. See, my wife can't because of our age. It was different. Now you need degrees, where before it was like the nursing school, and so that's why she's going to keep renewing it until she's decided I don't want it. But yeah. You've got the degree, so you can obviously get your license back.
Yeah.
Do you miss it? Do you want to get back into that?
I do miss it. Like, I miss being in the medical field and that. But I do feel like my path was more to fight and own a gym. I have my gym now, Kingdom MMA and BJJ. So I feel like that's what I'll do for the rest of my life after fighting. But I do miss being able to say I was a nurse and just being involved in the medical field, if that makes sense,
No, definitely. And it can help with the team, because now you don't have to hire a medical person. You've got your medical person.
Man, I don't know. Right? I think I got to hire the professionals still. I think I lost some of that. I got to pass it over to the ones who really know what's going on.
Or you could take the Jared Warren approach, the former BKFC champion. He did a spinning kick, killed a guy, then went over and resuscitated him, and he's a first responder, firefighter. So if you go in and do the damage, then you can fix them up after you're done. So
he brought him back to life, though.
His heart stopped. He kicked the opponent. He went down in the ring, went to cardiac arrest, and then he was part of the team that helped revive him and bring him back. So,
man, that's awesome.
Jared Warren, first responder in Tampa. He's a firefighter here. Great dude. One of us.
Man, that's awesome. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So nursing is on the. This is how well versed you are. You're not just a fighter. You were also a nurse. Are you still doing the dog breeding too?
No, my mother-in-law still does, and we'll help out every once in a while, but it's really came down just with the 4 kids and fighting and opening the gym. It's really came down to like having to narrow down my focus a little bit. When I was coming up and just trying to make it, and support my family, I was able to like dip in a lot of different things, but over the years I've had to just kind of dial it in a little bit. So we're not doing that right now either.
Okay. So now that I know all that other stuff we're not going to talk about, which is more stressful, training for the fight, which is what you do for a living, or running the gym?
It's different levels of stress. I would say it's different types of stress. It's hard to say which one is more stressful, because that's a hard question. I don't know. It just takes different parts of me, I think doing it together has been something different, especially on this short notice one. There's from one, I feel like maybe a little bit less pressure, because not everything is riding on just this fight. Before, man, I have a family of 6. And obviously, if we show up, we get half our purse. If we win, we get half our purse. And I've had times when I thought the judges really stole half of my money. Can't ever leave it to the judges, but that's just the game that we play. But that was so stressful, because if I didn't win, if it didn't go my way, we were living a completely different lifestyle until I got my next fight, Now, at least I have the gym. So we have like another source of income, but at the same time, I'm representing them. And I have so much pressure on my shoulders to make sure I go out there and put on a good performance. Because, obviously you can't go out there and not look good and then come back and try to be coaching people, I understand. And I've had a lot of guys tell me, like, I think the best thing I've heard this week is like, hey, man, no matter what goes out there, you're in the big show, like you're in the UFC. This is where everybody wants to be. Like, take the pressure off. We're happy and proud of you no matter what. And I appreciate those comments, but at the same time, I'm not going to take the weight off of my shoulder of being like, I got to go represent. Like, I got to make sure I go look good for these guys. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I thought of this last week, and you would think after covering the UFC since UFC 1, I might have thought of this sooner, but I didn't until last week when I saw something with GSP when he said that he couldn't see, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever trained like wearing an eye patch just in case, so you can have that feeling of being poked?
I have not. I've not. Now I might have to, but I haven't yet.
I just thought it was interesting, as he was talking, and it just hit me like a lightning bolt. Like, you can't prepare for the pain and the feeling and all that stuff, but to be able to not see out of one eye, I just thought,
yeah, that'd be Now I do want to try that now. That'd be interesting.
Well, you'll have to let me know how it goes. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so let's Chava. So on this is since we're talking about nursing hospitals, on the I've fallen and can't get up hotline, Randy Harris, you get one phone call to call out anyone from history, alive or dead, real or fictitious, to step inside the octagon against you. Who gets that call out?
To step inside the octagon against me?
Against you. A fantasy fight, alive or dead, real or fictitious, anyone of history. Who would you want to call out to step inside the octagon?
Man, who did I really not like in history? I mean, I feel like you'd have to, like, with no weapons, I feel like you have to call out Hitler.
Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like,
that
would be,
that's Randy's number one guy.
Well, that's true. I would, and some people have said, I've asked the question a little differently. Like, if you could have dinner with somebody has said Hitler, and as a Jew, I'm like, I don't know if I want to, have dinner with Hitler. And the person's response was, I wanted to talk to him, like, why, how do you feel, blah, 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 blah. But I'd much rather watch you fight him than, listen to
I think I'd much rather fight him and then talk about things after that. Fighting solves a lot of issues. Maybe, I don't know, you can hide behind the army, but when it's just you and another man and it's just bare fists, then that usually solves a bunch of issues,
It's funny that you bring that up, because I always ask fighters, it's not always, but a lot of times, how do you get over it like that? My brother and I had a fight, we'll just say 45, 50 years ago. I still don't like my older brother. And it kind of stems from that. There's other things as well, but I could never get over it. How do you get over, being in a fist fight? Win, draw, doesn't matter, just that fight itself.
It's everybody I fight, all my opponents, in my eyes, I see them as friends after. Maybe they don't see me the same way. I don't know. Most of them seem pretty cordial, but it's just, I don't know, fighting solves things, and I spend so much time with these guys in my head in the camp, that once it's all said and done, it's like they've really had a big part of my life, they're really part of that chapter. So, and in school, I mean, I will say I was a pretty good kid. I made good grades. I tried to be a good role model on that. The only issue that I had is that I was always in fights, and it was just because I loved fighting. If there was a bully that somebody needed to beat up, or some people didn't like, I would be happy to be like, hey guys, I'll do it. Put me in there. So that was the only trouble I really got in, was just fighting people. But every time after I did, it felt like I became friends with them, and it almost would help the bully, because usually, I won pretty much every school fight that I was in, and those guys usually were a little bit less of bullies after that. So I don't know. It just it has a way of doing that. So hopefully you and your brother will work that out.
Well, it's me. I'll say it publicly and privately. It's more me towards him than him towards me. Of course, he was the one beating me up growing up. So it's, he doesn't have anything to get over. Talk to me about Jessie. Your opponent on Saturday.
I think this is a good opportunity for Jessie. He gets a chance to come into the UFC, but I do not think Jessie's fought anybody like me. I think he's had a decent career, but on the regional scene, he hasn't. The level of his opponents aren't mine. My past three opponents have a combined record of 50-5, and I think the best opponent he's fought was 20-11 or something like that, which doesn't mean that he's not a good fighter. I'm not saying that he's not a good fighter. I just really feel like what I've been through the past couple of years, fighting all these guys on short notice, opponent switches and all that, and with the pedigree of guys I've been fighting, I feel like that's going to be real advantageous for me Saturday.
For sure. What's the craziest, funniest, strangest, whatever thing that's ever happened with you, involving you in a fist fight?
Man, these questions, you're really making me dig deep for them.
Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad?
Probably. I guess it's good. I know I've been carried out of a few clubs back in my young wild days. And I've had some times, but
Okay, moving on. Do you collect anything? Are you a collector of memorabilia or fight gear or autographs? Or
I'm not a big collector. No, I'm not.
Are the kids?
The kids, they like Legos. Yeah, they collect a lot of Legos.
How about your trading cards?
They haven't started yet. We should.
Yeah.
I've signed a bunch of those. Fans send them to me, and I always try to get those out and sign them and send them back or whatever. But yeah, the kids should start collecting some of that.
I've always wondered this when whatever the company is at the time, Topps, Fleer, Donruss, whoever's doing the cards, do they send stipulations when they send it to you? They want it in red, they want it in black. How do they get the chase cards? Or can you, use a red pen on some and a green pen on the other? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, no, they don't really send any. Like some people will send me stuff like with some instructions for it. But those are mostly just fans. But the others, no, they just have us sign them and send them back. So,
because I've always thought if it's not told, maybe one of you guys or you could use a different one and make it kind of a chase card. And if it gets out, obviously that's going to make it so much more valuable because you've only signed it once in whatever that color may be.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You're onto something there.
And then maybe Dana may put the bounty on that like he did the Donald Trump card. And, it would really cost a lot of money. All right. So, Miles, what can the fans expect, when you get in the octagon on Saturday?
I think they can expect violence. It's my 13th fight with the UFC. I think it's no secret. I've had some tough fights these past 3 ones. So this one, I really got to go out there and show that I still belong in the UFC. I truly do believe that. Like I said, the pedigree of my last 3 opponents has been very, very high. In one of those fights, I definitely think I won. And the other one was close. And so I'm just going out there to lay it all out there, man. I just want no regrets. I want to just go in there and have some fun and just really make it known who I am. And just have no regrets. I want to leave that octagon knowing that I did everything I could. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Final question from me. Does it matter T-Mobile, the Apex, or is a fight, or do you like the crowd of one? Talk us through the difference.
A fight's a fight to me, either way, I'm coming here for a job, I got a job to do, but I would love, if I get knocked out, I would love to get back in front of the fans one time, I think that would be fun. There's a little different energy with that.
Awesome. Miles, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the week. Have fun on Saturday, and let's talk again real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. All right. Let's, like I said, I hate that I'm doing this because there needs to be an easier way to ask them to leave than just boot.
Good job, Dr. Kevorkian. That's the next one for my Mount Rushmore. Dr. Kevorkian, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Scholes, Dr. Kevorkian. You could be like Sergeant Pepper's Yellow Submarine. But your animation on the cartoon, you could be like a military guy that's kind of like, a sandwich connoisseur, just eating submarine sandwiches in every city. That could be your thing, Randy. You and
we'll see. I'll reach out to the Rip Santa. We'll discuss it. We'll make a decision on how I will be portrayed in the comic. Right now, let's go inside the distance. Jared, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
All right, so let's first and foremost, I understand there's been some lightning and some issues, so we'll hopefully get through some of this. But
hold on, wait. It looks like he's been on a golf course. Why are you late? What are you doing?
No,
that's a nice outfit, bro. That's way too fancy for this program. Like, where you been?
It's pouring here, man. My apartment building just got struck by lightning, so I'm in the office with probably the worst Wi-Fi I've ever seen in my life. So,
all right, well, we'll try to get through it. Then we'll try to get through it as quickly before you lose the Wi-Fi. First and foremost, an attaboy is due, so let's talk about that first.
Yeah, I mean, last fight card was insane. I mean, we had 11 first-round finishes. Typically, I've always said it, if there's finishes, typically I'm winning. So, yeah, I was able to pretty much every bet we talked about was – at least the picks themselves looked really good. I think we really missed 2 on the entire card. That the actual method of victory was pretty dang close as well. So really the only 2 that really kicked me in the butt was the Vlado Seppo fight. And I believe I said, let's take the underdog on a fight that I said I wasn't going to bet anyways. So everything else was exactly how we kind of drew it up. So very successful night. We won't go through everything, but that's what we want to see on these, on these kind of picks. And it could not have been a better way to go through our first card, like from top to bottom.
So I asked Matt this earlier, and then we're going to get right into this weekend. What is a successful night? Is it 60%? Is it 75%? Obviously, you want to be over 50. You want to be more on the up than the down. What do you consider a successful evening?
Yeah, I mean, from a betting perspective, it's anytime you're up money. You know, we're looking to not be in the negative. Obviously, little wins stink. Definitely, when you put a lot of work into it, you hope for more, and you see spots that you probably should have hit bigger, or put more on, or risk a little bit. But ultimately, when it comes from a betting perspective, we want to we want a C+ in front of it. When it comes to just straight picks going down a fight card, I've always said I would like to be about 70%, because we're picking big favorites. There's no rhyme or reason. You're just going with who you think's going to win the fight. You're not going off of numbers. So I like to be over 70-75% on just picks. When it comes to betting, I don't want to lose money. So
no, for sure. All right, so let's get into it. Where are you going to start? Top to bottom or bottom to top?
Yeah, we can start. We'll go top. Let's go top to bottom, just because we're going to have some time restraints here. And last time we went 30 minutes and barely got it in, so I know we're not going to probably even get close. So we'll start with the Mateusz Gamrot, McClellan Salkilld main event. Very interesting fight, very closely lined fight. We're seeing almost a pick'em here. We're seeing Salkilld start to push a little bit. We're seeing him at like minus 150 or so right now. I think it's understandable. I think the line makes a lot of sense. We're looking at a Gamrot here that has faced much stronger competition, but we're maybe not seeing that surge that we once saw from Gamrot. We might kind of see him settle in at this point. So I'm torn on this from a pick perspective. I think Salkild's going to have the speed advantage. I think he's going to have the faster hands. I think he's going to have the more dangerous strikes. But at the same time, Gamrot, if we see him continue to take him down and hold him down, we can probably see a pretty dominant ground performance like we typically do see from the Gamrot side. Now, the question is, does that wear him out? What are we going to see in the third, fourth, and fifth round? Are we going to possibly see a finish there from the Salkilld side? So there's a lot of questions here, strength of schedule, competition, stuff like that. Ultimately, to make a pick on this, full transparency, I have a parlay already put in. I had to take Gamrot because I think the number's too good to pass up on. But I really, I'm flip-flopping on this. So I really do like Salkilld here. I think we haven't seen his ceiling yet, and that's dangerous because he looks so good so far. So ultimately, I'm going to take Salkilld. I think the number's hard to pass on Gamrot, so that's when a pick would be different than a bet. I took the number on Gamrot. If I'm picking straight up, I'm taking Salkilld.
All right, let's go one down. Co-main event, Tampa guy. Saw him over the weekend. Billy Q was on last week. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is a fun fight. I mean, we got two guys who are in the later stages of their career, proven fighters, both very tough guys. Both have different skill sets too. I think Billy Q, he's an aggressive guy. He keeps forward pressure. He's dangerous on the ground. Not typically known for his knockout power, but he typically is kind of the guy that piles up shots on somebody, eventually breaks him down, either with his cardio or pressure. On the Diego side, we're seeing a guy at about 40, was he 42 now or something? Or no, I might be getting mixed up. I think he's in his 41. So we're seeing him still kind of hang up there in the division. He's still getting some good wins. He's going back and forth a little bit at this point, but he possesses a really tremendous power. I think that's an advantage here in this fight. Ultimately, I really do like Billy Q. He's always been a fan favorite for me. I'm from the Tampa area, so I tend to, I like our hometown fighters. So I think this is going to be a really fun fight. I like the under on this, so I'm not going to – if I'm going to pick, I'm going to take Billy Q because I have a connection from, being in the Tampa Bay area. I like him as a fighter. I think moving up in weight is a very interesting thing here too. But I think just with some of the durability concerns on both sides of this fight, I think the under 2.5 makes a lot of sense.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question, and if you can't or don't want to answer it, then we're going to move on to the next fight, okay? Yeah. Where can you make these bets? Because, I'm trying to do the online bet which is here locally in the Tampa Bay area, and they don't have a lot of the bets that you are suggesting. So how can we where do we need to go to do those?
They definitely do. You just have to go to different tabs. So it just depends when they come out. By tomorrow, everything's going to probably be posted.
Okay.
So there's 2 different tabs. When you start getting into round predictions, that's considered technically on the Hard Rock a parlay. So you go to the parlay tab, and then they have the method with the round. When you go to the first tab, you have the method of victory, you have the inside the distance, yes or no, and then you have the round betting as well. So you can bet the 1.5, you can bet the 2.5. So it's all on there.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm learning too. All right, let's move on.
So I have Darren Elkins and Yadier del Valle. Supposedly this is Elkins' retirement fight.
That's what he just said. He was just on.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy, man. This guy's been in the game for a long time. He's got a very notorious nickname that he tends to live up to. Very fan friendly, tough as can be, sometimes too tough for his own good. I don't know what to think from the Yadier del Valle side. This is a guy that was kind of wrapped up in that betting scandal that a lot of people thought it was a fixed fight. I don't know. I don't think he was ever punished because I don't think he was profiting on it, but nobody really knows. So I won't get into that too much, but a lot of people kind of lost a little respect on that side. I think the age difference is going to be a big factor here. I think that the del Valle side, he does show some potential with finishing, whether it is, I think it's typically on the mat from him. I don't think Elkins is really known to be, a slob on the map or on the mat or anything like that. But I typically in a fight like this tend to lean on the side of the younger fighter. Definitely when an age gap is this apparent. And the statistics and everything tend to side with the younger fighter. I think it's like 65 or so percent. Typically, it goes to the younger fighter if the age gap is more than like 5 years. So my pick, again, I don't have a great read on the actual fight because I don't really trust del Valle. I don't know what to expect from a 42-year-old Elkins in a retirement fight. So this is something that I would target from the under 2.5 again. Elkins is tough as can be. So that's going to probably be a sweat. But I think that either del Valle gets it done and gets it done kind of in a good, quick fashion, or I think Elkins kind of just breaks him and wins the fight.
Never liked, and I even said it to Darren when he was on, when you've already announced this is it. And he said he was going to retire after the last fight.
Yeah.
But he wanted to go out. He wanted, the gloves and that kind of stuff.
That scares me even more.
Right. Well, and that's what I said to him because – and Dana has said this, and we've all said it. When you start thinking retirement, you've retired.
Yeah, you've kind of lost a piece of it. Yeah.
It's, do you change, even though he said he didn't? Yeah, I'm not going to go to the gym today. It's my last, camp. It's this, that, the other. Just something to think about. That's all.
Well, I think everyone's looking for that perfect retirement fight and scenario, and that doesn't happen very often, unfortunately.
Well, not to eat up time, but the problem is when you get that perfect fight, then you're like Justin Gaethje. You have that fight, and then you're like, I can't retire. I just did. And then you come back, and then you never get that back. And that's why I do think Justin Gaethje will not fight again. I'll be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, let's move along.
Yeah. So moving on, we're going to move to, I believe, again, the bout order is kind of all over the place. But, Amanda Lemos and Alexia Thainara. So this is actually a really, really big prospect, Alexia Thainara. She's really getting the attention of the MMA community right now. Definitely just her aggressiveness. She's a very well-rounded fighter. She's holding up to the competition as it increases. And then we're seeing an Amanda Lemos who I think is kind of slowing down a little bit. She's not as aggressive as she used to be. She's not finishing fights like she used to. I think I don't know if it was her last finish or just her last knockout. Was in 2022. So we're seeing someone who was notorious for just this aggressive, definitely in the female division, just a very aggressive finisher and fighter, kind of not have that edge any longer. So I personally think she's lost her edge from the finishing side, and it doesn't really make her as exciting as an opponent or fighter as she used to be. So I'm siding here with Thainara. I believe she's a pretty big favorite here. I think the best way to tackle this is to get her inside the distance. I think she has a dominant performance. I think she's very aggressive on the ground, very strong, relentless, just through and through on fights. So I think it should be an aggressive, a pretty violent fight here from the Thainara side, and that's where I'm leaning.
Another one of our guests today, Ty Miller, taking on Billy Ray Goff.
Yeah, a lot of good things to say about Ty Miller. This kid's looked incredible. He's young as can be. I think he's like 26, so maybe not as young, but very young in his career. He's only has like 6 professional fights from the MMA side. I think he's a pretty credentialed boxer previously. He's really starting to put it together. Super long, super lengthy, and I think that's where it's going to give Billy Goff a lot of trouble here. He has had issues in the past with reach. I think it was Trey Waters that he fought. Kind of was, just unable to get inside into the ring, and get his shots landed. So I think it's going to be a very similar situation in this fight. I think that Ty Miller is a very promising prospect, and I think that he wins a dominant decision. But I will definitely be playing his KO because I think that he can start to add it up and possibly later rounds, maybe round 2, round 3, see a KO. So I'll be looking round 2, round 3, or just a money line. Possibly something I'll look at a parlay as well for Ty Miller.
Now we move to the main event of the evening of the prelim card. That's our good friend, Steven Asplund.
Yep, I'm all on Steve here. I'm all on, what's his nickname? Concrete Asplund?
Concrete, yep.
Yeah.
Well, he was a concrete worker, so yeah.
Yeah, big fan. I think this is a great spot for him. I think he's going to have the speed advantage. We know what he's like in the cage. He's just an absolute, he's hard as hell to knock out.
And like he has said, he laughs when people say speed. The guy once weighed 500 and some pounds, and people are saying, "Yeah, look at his speed."
His hand speed's crazy. Yeah, I mean, hand speed's one thing. Sometimes you can't even teach that. Sometimes it's just doesn't matter the size of someone, or it's just you got quick hands or you don't. I think he has it here. I'm not a big fan of Pat. I think he's kind of been a snooze fest so far. I haven't really loved any of his fights. I don't see him being a guy that really gets through somebody like Asplund. So I'm looking at Asplund KO. A lot of people are on the 2-3. I think it can be done early. I think looking at his last fight, he was, was it Petrino he fought last? Right. He rocked him first round. I had him first round in that one. I think he can do it here. So give me Asplund KO.
Something. Randy asked me to say something. Randy just texted me. He goes, say something. Something. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep going.
Great picks, man. Good job, man.
Thanks.
I lost on my D-Rod last week, by the way. I got crushed on my. I put it all in on him going to jail, training camp, and that's apparently not a good strategy.
Yeah, definitely warned you on that one. Yeah, we're getting close on time. Do you want me to rapid fire, or do you want me to just
rapid fire? Go rap. Hit it.
So I'm going to take the one guy I can't pronounce, Diyar.
Hey, we call him Hey.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hey here. I think a KO is the way to go. We have Jose. I've seen Luiz, but I guess it's Montana. I don't know. I'm a little mixed up here. And then Louis Sutherland. This is a fight that I'm not betting. If I had to take a pick, I'm probably going to take Louis Sutherland just because I've seen him a little bit more proven. Manuel Souza, Miranda. I got Souza. I think he's got a really big KO threat. He does tend to fade, so just be cautious. But I have him by KO. Miles John, I know, was on the show. He's taking a fight with Rosas, who's the big brother of Raul Rosas. I think he's biting off a little too much too soon, so I'm on the John side, most likely by decision. And then last we have Juliana Miller and Ravenna Oliveira. I like Juliana Miller a lot here. I think she's going to be. I think her BJJ is very exceptional. I think it's better than most girls in this division. It's a sketchy fight, no doubt, but I like Juliana Miller inside the distance to kick off the card.
Were you surprised, because I was, that Juliana Miller is the opening fight of the night? No.
Surprised, I think, she's kind of been fighting for her spot for a while. And they tend to put exciting fighters. I think she fits it. She goes out there. Both of these fighters finished fights, believe it or not. Although Oliveira started 0-3 and Miller's gone back and forth. They're both finishers. So somebody's going to get finished, I think, here. I love this spot. I love the inside the distance here. If you want to take it under 2.5, if some people don't feel confident on the Miller side, take it 2.5, take the under. I think it's going to be from the finish will come from Miller. So I got inside the distance, and that's how we put a stamp on it.
All right. Well, that's going to end today's broadcast. We're going to get with you later tonight when we have our panel and, evaluate a little bit more. And if you're only going to do this or only do that, we're going to discuss that tonight at 8:30. So as always, Jared, thank you for the time. Thank you to everybody who's still with us on the YouTube channel. Things are starting to escalate, which we definitely like. Until 8:30 tonight. See you, everybody.
See you.
Something.